ever recorded. And today, we're on a hunt. She's on the loose trying to propagate her species. Let's go. I don't even know if that's the correct use of the word propagate or if that's even a word, or if I said something that sounds like the right word.
No, work. Propagate. Propagate the species.
Whatever.
You pomegranate the species.
She's pomegranate. That's it. She's out there either trying to buy fresh fruit or find a dude to get in bed with. Maybe.
Or both.
Maybe she just doesn't know the difference between the two, given that she's 4 months old.
I was going to say, considering her education level.
Thank you guys for being here. We have Genevieve Hauser back again since, what was it? Twilight. That's right.
Twilight, yep.
Well, this is a nice... Did you say best movie ever?
I was joking, yeah.
Oh my, I can't wait to do the rest of them though, because that was
I know.
some
I'm
of
so
the most
excited.
fun I ever had watching a movie with you.
Yeah.
Was listening to you roast Twilight as a teenager.
Yeah.
It was delightful.
Yep.
I'm like, look, this is who they made it for, and they didn't even do it right.
No, exactly.
Love it.
They made it for me.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it for Joe. Yeah.
For Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe ended up
Joe
loving
loved it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
He did. All right.
Me and Joe bonded over Twilight.
Ryan Farrell,
Love
the
that
Human
for you
Movie Database in the house. How are you, sir?
I'm wonderful.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm glad we're talking about Natasha Henstridge again.
I had to have you back for Species.
Yeah.
Because I thought maybe this is a chance for redemption. I know you loved Ghost of Mars.
Love Ghost of Mars.
She got trash canned in that, I'm pretty sure.
You guys trash canned her.
Yes.
I did not.
She was bad in that movie. But here's a chance. We'll see.
Well, I guess we're going
We'll
to find out.
in about 2 hours when we get to the end if she was a trash can again. Brian Draws Movies is here. BDM, I would shorten it, but that is also have another meaning. I don't want you to be associated with that.
I appreciate that.
What's up, man?
Happy to be here. I had no idea what quote you're going to pull.
Oh, okay.
For the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Pretty happy. That's
Okay, all right.
That's a
Yeah,
good
that was
choice.
great.
That was a good choice.
I didn't know until about 10 seconds because I sat and I was like, oh, wait, I got to have a quote. Sometimes I have it ready like 4 days in advance.
Yeah.
Not today.
Or someone just punch you in the face. You're like, let's got to be that.
Let's go. Let's do it. Appreciate you all for being here. Was this anybody's first time seeing Species?
Yes.
Yeah, mine.
So both of you?
Yeah.
Yep. Raise my hand.
I mean, come on. You remember. Look. You remember this used to play on like TNT.
I know.
After Monday Night Raw.
This movie, here's what I don't understand. If they played this movie on TNT, it would be 45 minutes.
I was gonna mention that. Yeah.
No.
How on earth did they play this on TNT?
Not well.
Because this is the first time I saw it also. I've
it
avoided
really?
it all these years.
I am not sure watching it on TNT would be worth it.
Right.
Compared to the VHS.
Oh, no.
Right?
No.
No.
Watching it all chopped up on TNT. But like the third one was literally made for the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yes. I haven't seen, obviously, none of them. Have you seen all the way through 3?
Kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Vaguely remember 3 because it's pretty awful.
All right. Well, you'll be back here again when we do Species 3. I'll tell you that.
Man.
Right now, you're all roped in.
I'm roped in.
Appreciate
I'm on the Natasha Henstridge train.
We're going to hit the vitals here, guys, because what we do here is tell you everything you need to know about the movie. Then we're going to launch into a scene-by-scene analysis. And finally, we're going to give out awards for who was good, who was not, what did we like, what did we not, and then we'll give this thing a final rating. We're going to hit that rubber stamp and say, all right, either it is a bad movie or maybe sometimes it turns out that they're actually really good. So we'll see what happens here with Species. But to get things kicked off, this movie was written and directed. But see, now we've got this. We just pull it up right here. Isn't it delightful?
You're kind of fancy now, huh?
I'm trying to get fancier. Right? So I know. Movie was directed by Roger. That's not a word. Roger Donaldson.
Roger Donaldson.
Yes.
You know it. Classic working class director.
Who we know and love from such classics as
13 Days with Kevin Costner and Bruce Greenwood.
the Missile movie.
The one about the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Okay, I liked that movie.
That's a great movie.
Greenwood did a great JFK.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
How about No Way Out?
No Way Out. Is that the one with
Kevin Costner?
Okay, I'm thinking of the Ray Liotta one. That's No Escape.
That's not. Well,
Yeah.
Is
okay.
there? Yeah, yeah.
No Way Out is another Costner. So why wasn't Costner in Species?
I don't know.
Hot Blonde Girls. This is the movie that he would love to be in.
I think because Michael Madsen had just been in his previous film, The Getaway.
Oh, that's probably why.
So, why, there you go.
This is amazing to listen to.
I told that's why he's the
I know.
Human Movie Database. You notice how I didn't even click Roger's name to see what else he had done? I said, from such classics as, and I just looked at him.
Yeah. Roger Donaldson knows how to make a movie. Did you see The Recruit with Colin Farrell and Al Pacino?
Yes. Mm-hmm. technically,
Yes.
technically, the guy that made The Room knows how to make a movie.
Well,
Right.
now we're getting a little.
Yeah.
Yes. Tommy Wiseau and Roger Donaldson are not the same.
All right.
one and the same.
He did not direct that movie. He did not. Writer was Denny Feldman. Okay. Starring Natasha Henstridge, Michael Madsen, Ben Kingsley, Alfred Molina. Who else am I missing out of this merry
Forrest
bunch?
Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh, last time we talked about Forrest Whitaker was on The Last Stand, the Arnie flick.
The girl from Blue Valentine and Greatest Showman.
Marg Helgenberger
Yep.
in this one.
Mark Hellenberger.
Oh my gosh.
Michelle Williams making her debut before Dawson's Creek.
That was Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
I remember when we were watching the movie in the opening credits, and I said to Dana, "Oh my gosh, Michelle Williams is in this."
Yeah.
And then we watched the movie, and I never realized I never saw Michelle Williams, but she was the little girl version of her.
She does look
Yes.
kind of drastically different, I think.
Yeah. She was the little young Syl.
Okay. Well, great. That's news to me. I've got suddenly new opinions about all of that. But as far as how it qualifies for our show, this thing had a budget of $35 million, but it grossed $113 million. So this ended up being a huge MGM opening for them. At the time, it was their biggest opening. That's
insane.
wild.
Summer of 95.
Yes.
Yeah. They opened in the spring of 95, which is
Yes.
Crazy.
Why it's the biggest at that point.
Movie currently sits just above the Air America line of demarcation at a 5.9 on IMDb. And this is where it really starts to illustrate why we have this one on the show. This thing's sitting at a 42% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. And you're like, well, sometimes critics or oftentimes they're morons.
Yeah.
The people would have the right opinion.
Ugh.
The people said 31%, even lower for Species.
That amazes me.
was
That it's a
surprised.
31% on
Yeah, I
the
feel like
popcorn
they have
meter.
like a strong following for a species, I feel like.
It's got a cult following
Yeah.
for sure. At least.
It does have a cult
Very-
following.
It has to have some kind of following to have that many movies.
There's
not just-
4 of them, right?
Yeah, I didn't know there was that many of them.
Maybe it just has a regular, maybe it's not even a cult, it's just a regular following. I feel like people enjoyed the movie.
You'd think so. I mean, back in 95,
I'd
there
say
were
about 31%.
31% Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
when you think of how big the country is, that's a lot of people.
Could be.
That's a whole lot of people.
It was all the dudes that read the article in Hustler about the.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, Ryan,
Yeah.
quick question.
Oh, boy.
How'd you know there was an article in Hustler about this?
Well, I didn't at the time,
Got it. Okay.
but that was one of the things that, because I'm looking at it like, yeah, that's crazy. I was surprised that it did over 100 million at the box office.
Right.
So evidently one of the articles, one of the promotional materials for the movie was an article about Natasha Henstridge's
Boobies.
No, there you go. Just say it.
Yeah,
Just
there
say
you
it.
go.
I know. You're probably worried that Jenna's sitting at the
I
table.
don't. You're
But like,
No,
she had to
no.
watch the same movie that we did, right?
No,
She's aware of the boobs.
I just tried to be euphemistic about it, but you know, what,
I appreciate it.
call it her.
Right?
Huh?
You saw the boobs.
Yeah, I did watch the movie. I'm still. What does euphemistic mean?
Euphemistic?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, you know, it's like
This is Ryan Farrell. It could mean nothing. It doesn't matter.
I'm just worried because I'm not going
Euphemistic.
to understand anything he's saying.
No,
the whole time.
euphemistic is much different.
Yeah, I think it means killing old people when they're ready to die. Is what it means, right?
Yeah.
I think so. He was trying
It could.
to
I
be.
was trying
It
to-
could. There's some old men that if you showed them this and those boobies came on screen, they might.
This movie could be euphemistic.
Yeah.
You're right.
it could be euphemistic.
Not to be shown at nursing homes. It should
Exactly.
come with a warning on the
Yeah.
front of it.
Oh, I'm bringing my 4K copy to the nursing home.
Gonna give some old man a heart attack. Good God.
Not for nursing homes.
No.
Made
right.
for the pause button for teenagers.
I'll tell you what is for nursing homes, though. Bad movies rule. Thank you, all the oldies out there that are listening and tuning in to the show. We appreciate you. If you'd like to reach out, the best way to reach us is at our email address. This show is trash gmail.com, or you can call us at 262-757-8567. Leave us a voicemail. We'll return one of those on our mailbag segments. Otherwise, if you could do us a favor, help spread the word, tell a friend about the show. Send one of our social posts out, or just text them and say, hey, moron, listen to Bad Movies Rule. What the hell are you doing with your life? Right? And be just as hostile as that, because people respond to hostility, I feel like. You know,
not always positively, but they'll respond.
But
for
they'll
sure.
respond for sure. I mean, everybody gets stuff sent to them, but they'll really pay attention if you're like, "Hey, asshole,
Yeah.
Bad Movies Rule."
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Well, you know.
That's what I'm trying to say. Do you understand? If somebody sent you something with a horrible message attached to it, are you going to click on it?
I would click on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I might not listen.
I don't think I would listen, but I would click
Well,
on
you would
it.
click on it, and then you would
And
be
then I would not
enraptured
listen
within
it.
4 seconds of hearing the stupid music and me screaming something dumb. You'd be like, "Oh, I'm in for this." Right? The
Okay.
reason we call ourselves the worst movie podcast
Yes.
of all time.
Yes, James.
All right, 'cause we gotta-
100%.
If they'd only stick with us for like an hour, they'll start to like it. That's what
Yeah.
we're shooting for.
Don't worry, it's not like Game of Thrones where you got to wait till season 4 for it to get good.
Exactly. I was going to say, it's just like one of those TV shows.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right,
well,
right.
if you just stick with it for 4 seasons.
Just wait till Breaking Bad season 4, then it gets really good.
Oh,
But you know,
I hate that crap
Yeah.
because I couldn't get into Breaking Bad. I couldn't get past the first season.
no.
No.
That's
you're-
unfortunate.
Okay,
I've
but you're
never
a Game of
finished.
Thrones fan.
Yes, because I like swords.
'Cause-
Literally, all it had to do was say, "Oh, Scene Bean is in this," and they got swords. Then yes,
That's what did it for you?
And I almost was out when they spoiler chop Sean Bean's head off. I was. And this is an exaggeration. I was like, "Well, guess I'm not watching this show anymore."
To be honest, I haven't watched any more than season 1 because I
Because
was
that
like,
was like-
Eddard's dead? Well, all right.
That was my guy.
I don't care about any of these other characters.
I literally came back on a whim. I think season 2 had already come out, and they were like, season 3 was coming, and I was like, "All right, I'll watch season 2," and I'm glad I did because I ended up enjoying it. But yeah, I was almost out after that.
yeah.
So
Maybe one day I'll get back into it.
bastards, it is good. The ending sucks, but it's really, really good. Have you watched Game of Thrones?
I got to the big battle. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, it's where Sam was about to fight one of the.
You talking about Lord of the Rings? Sam?
No.
Sam likes Game.
Who's the chubbier guy? Who
Oh,
went to-
Sam. Yeah,
It is
you were
Sam.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm an idiot.
Yay! Everyone glance at how smart I am right now.
All right. Fine.
But yeah, he was about to fight one of the monsters. that
Yes.
come.
Oh, that's right.
And that's where I stopped, and I never went back for some reason.
You know what? Stay right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's just kind of downhill from there. All right, you guys. Before we get into this, let's pay some bills. You ready to hit this scene by scene of Species?
Always.
More than
yes. More of a coast along than a micro analysis. Ryan Farrell.
I'm not even the microanalyzer.
You are so. Don't you forgot that he opened a door in that scene. We got to go back.
Okay, I've never. No.
I'm just kidding. All right. Movie opens. Text blurb.
Space.
I'm like, all I know is there's a hostile alien. That's all I know about this, right? You can tell from the cover, hostile alien. And I literally sat there, green cloud. I was like, well, there's your problem right there. You got a green cloud in space.
Dude, no one's ever liked a green cloud.
Only bad crap can come out of a green space cloud.
Have you seen Maximum Overdrive?
Yes, we got a text blurb and a green cloud.
got
I'm
a
like, is
text
this
blurb.
Maximum Overdrive too?
I don't think that rule holds only to outer space either. I think anytime you see a green cloud,
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
true.
It's bad.
Green
The fog.
clouds.
The fog. That was just a regular cloud, and
Yeah,
it
it
still
was
sucked.
bad. Yeah, and it was bad.
It still sucked.
Yeah.
imagine if that one was green.
Exactly.
Even worse.
Yeah. Huh?
That would have been so much worse, and that couldn't get much worse. All right, green cloud in space. And then I took a nap for 10 minutes while the opening credits went through. I don't know about you guys.
Then you missed a lot about a satellite.
You missed a lot.
It
of
was the longest opening credits in recent memory.
It's relatively long.
Thank God
You're
they
right.
don't do this anymore in movies.
It's relatively long.
It's pretty much died, right? The practice of these opening credits.
That are that long? Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah.
Because now they just get to it.
I've never liked opening credits,
No.
so you know.
One of the longest ones I remember is Back to the Future 2.
Yep.
The clouds. You just sit and sail through the clouds for 10 minutes before
Yeah.
finally.
Superman.
Or
Alice in Wonderland is
Also-
a really long one too.
Oh, yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Escape
Also-
from New York.
Yes, those credits took forever.
Escape from New York, which doesn't even have anything going on over the credits. It's
No.
literally just black plate,
Yep.
credits, and music.
Yep.
But to be honest, I love it.
For 17 minutes.
Yes.
Movie's only an hour and a half long. We got to stretch it out. We got to get to 90 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
All right. The text comes up and tells us about the SETI project, okay, which is this project where they were sending signals out into space, which is a thing that happens in real life. They send out signals into space.
Yes, I mean, the SETI project was a real project.
Real thing. And no one ever answers their calls. I mean, it's got to be a rough job to just sit in this office all day and just shoot out phone calls trying to call aliens and they never pick up.
Just hanging.
Sending memes to aliens.
That's what I would start doing.
Yeah.
After a while, I'm like, guys, let's just start sending some memes.
Maybe then they would respond.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something. Me waiting for you to answer and it's a skeleton. Right? Like,
They were about to respond like another grumpy cat. You know what? Forget it.
that's right. They were like, they were literally about to type back the secrets of the universe. And they're like, these assholes with the cats. They don't deserve our heightened knowledge. That's exactly what happened. But
But if you're just hanging out at like the satellite and Goldeneye.
yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yes, it is. Yep.
And what's funny is it's the same. Pierce Brosnan was offered this movie and couldn't do it because of a conflict with Goldeneye.
Yeah.
And so that's how they ended up with Michael Madsen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was going to be Pierce.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm too busy being James Bond right
And
now.
then Pierce Brosnan still worked with Roger Donaldson on Dante's Peak.
That's right.
Boom.
Boom, another Ronnie Donald
There you go.
movie.
Ronnie Donaldson, man.
Yeah.
He knows what's up.
Dante's Peak, the inferior Volcano movie to come out in 1998.
That's debatable.
Volcano, I love that stupid movie.
Here's the thing. All right, so Steph.
Yeah.
Steph loves Dante's Peak. Can't stand it.
Yeah.
I love Volcano.
Yes.
She refuses to watch it.
That means she's got to be on it when we do it.
She hasn't even seen it though, so just refuses to watch
I don't know if she's seen it or not. Or
Have you
it's just
seen
one of
Volcano?
those.
Nope.
Tommy
Or
Lee
Dante's
Jones?
Peak.
Brother. All right, well,
Look,
just
Dante's Peak tries to be all like technical and scientific and blah blah blah, and Volcano's just stupid.
Volcano's like, there's a volcano under LA. We didn't know about it.
It came
it's, like, it's really dumb, but
There's a
awesome.
volcano that came up from the La Brea tar pits, guys.
And Tommy Lee Jones is the only one that can stop the lava, right?
Yeah, well,
naturally.
that makes sense.
Yep.
I've got to show you Volcano.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd love it.
Anne Heche is in it. That lake is 54 degrees. Yesterday it was 51. Well, it's a sunny day.
That's the Saturday.
Takes a geological event to heat a body of water that big, 3 degrees in 2 hours or whatever. You know.
You've really seen Volcano.
Yes.
Wow.
It's so good. All right, never mind. Let's talk about species.
Why?
We open on this girl in a tank. Okay, think like 11 from Stranger Things, right? Is that what you thought of immediately?
Not really, but I do see the resemblance.
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's just got the freaking medical like sensor pads on her head,
Suction cups.
the suction cup right on her head.
Yep.
And she's sleeping. That's an important fact because they wait for her to wake up.
And then I thought the same thing.
Would have been 10 times easier if you just did it while she was sleeping.
Right.
Like she couldn't have done anything, but
And it cuts to Ben Kingsley, who's up in this observation desk with 2 other scary looking dudes, and they're just standing there. I like to stare at Tank Girl. Is she awake yet? Hold on, I got to get up there so I can stare ominously while this happens. Runs up.
Such a trope.
Okay, wake her up. I'm here. Right? Isn't it?
Like, I wonder what these people do all day.
Oh, nothing.
And like,
He's there. He's the director. He comes and goes. One of those guys' job is to stare ominously into the tank.
yeah. And then there's the other guys, like, so, they choose to gas her, right?
Right.
And
With cyanide. They bring in these tanks of cyanide.
But that's what I mean. Like, what do those guys do all day? They're just like on standby in their duckbill platypus masks. Like,
Yeah. Well, just wait till she actually breaks out of this facility, and then we'll really talk about this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at these guys. Okay, they bring in these tanks of cyanide. They're huge. They're in radiation suits or whatever. They're these hazmat suits.
Yes,
Whatever. They plug them in to the cyanide nozzles pre-installed in this tank. Okay,
very conveniently, these giant tanks
Yes.
of cyanide just happen to be labeled cyanide.
Finch, aka Ben Kingsley, mouths,
And-
"I'm sorry"
Yeah.
to the girl, and she says, "I'm sorry." Like, I don't think she understood what he was saying, but she knows she's in danger. They've pumped the cyanide into the tank, and she's pounding on the glass, and she kind of disappears, and you're like, "Oh,
Yeah. And then he thinks about pollution for a second.
yeah, right." He's like, or I said, we're going to start this movie off with a murder of a child. Like, okay, but no, because power fist straight through the 4-inch glass. Boom.
Yep.
Girl dives out. Michelle Williams.
Michelle Williams.
The
Punch a hole.
punched a hole the size of
Of her body.
of her body to be able to dive through.
Yes.
Yeah.
With her little, how old is she? 9?
Yeah, I was wondering if she could do that the whole time or
12.
It was
9, 10, 12,
12.
whatever. 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Okay. That's still this like tiny hole that you would make with your fist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dives through it. So kudos. And then the cyanide gets into the room and all the technicians going, and they all start choking. I'm like, bro, wear a gas mask if you're bringing cyanide tanks into the room.
You should.
Why the hell aren't
Yeah.
they wearing gas
No,
masks?
especially it's a secret government project. Like you think they could afford like
Right.
some actual NBC suits or anything like that.
Hope this
But
doesn't
no.
get out because I don't have anything on my face. Right?
Right.
Sure enough. It's a government operation, so something went wrong.
Yep. As always. And now there's
always.
a 12-year-old girl dressed in white just running around through
booking
through the caverns, through the archives
Yeah.
of this building.
Ends up out in the yard. Not a damn guard in the yard.
No.
Not one.
No.
why would
This
there
is
be?
what I said. Wait till she
ahead.
breaks out because
Yeah.
where are all these people coming from?
Yeah.
She gets over the fence, which
Yeah.
conveniently has no barbed wire.
Well, just for a girl-sized gap
One
of
girl-sized,
the razor
yep.
wire.
That or she ate it while she went over.
Girl-sized gap.
She jumps over, and immediately there's an army of people
Yes,
outside
soldiers.
of the fence walking
Like a
towards her
barracks full of soldiers.
Dude.
and shooting 50 flares in the air.
This-
Pew!
That cutaway cracks me up because it's exactly
Yes.
like there's all of a sudden Hueys. There's literally 2 Hueys that take off.
Right.
There's a platoon of soldiers like marching with
They were
a
excited.
In line.
frickin' M16s.
So they can afford that, but not gas masks.
But not gas.
Yes, exactly.
Those guys were like, finally! We've been sitting here by the fence.
That's what took them so long. They were
days.
playing cards, man.
Yeah.
Oh, she's out? Everybody's got to get dressed Ghostbusters style, slide down the pole and get out there. And she's already across the freaking field barefoot, just Captain America style running, just zooming across this field, cuts these guys walking in a line.
Yep.
Like, why? Okay. Nice sense of urgency, guys. The choppers are coming in. She gets to this train, okay, and jumps on the train as it's going by. A hillbilly,
A drifter.
a drifter,
A ruffian.
a ruffian,
A ruffian.
or ruffian either.
A ruffian, if you will.
Maybe he's both. He's a roofer and a ruffian. That's what it is. He's riding to his next job. Okay, he's a day laborer that does roofs.
That's how he affords those
Right.
teeth.
You loved him.
Yeah, I thought he was amazing. Well, she jumps on the train, falls asleep, and then she
Jumps
wakes
on
up.
midair, falls asleep, and lands still asleep. That's what she did.
And then she wakes up to the hillbilly in her face, and then
He was part of her nightmare too, though. Like she
Oh,
was
really?
dreaming about him, and
Oh,
then
I forgot
woke
she
up,
was having the alien dream.
and then woke up, and then he was there. So he's left her alone this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Like,
her first day.
Hey, I just wanted to wake you up because you were seemed a little startled in your nightmare.
Yeah.
He was being real kind, and then she was like, "Oh yeah."
Then he bent him in half like a lawn chair the wrong way.
broke him over.
Bro was literally snapped in half.
Did she do more than just push him?
She had to. I mean, it didn't look like she ate him, but it looked like he was like his spine was in
It
half.
did look like she literally just pushed.
It looked like a shove.
But
Yeah.
to your point, how it's put together, how it's edited, yes, it's like she just wakes up and she's like, no, and just like
Shoves him in half.
yeah, shoves him in half.
like a broken pencil. Yeah.
Because I don't mean to jump ahead, but
No, it's
later
fine.
on they're like, well, based on the DNA and the material found in the wounds,
Yes.
this
Yeah.
was her.
This was
Yeah.
And I was like, she pushed him. What sort of material found in the wounds are like
well,
alien?
I mean,
let's be real. Did they have to test anything to know it was her? Or did they just look on the train and go, that was her?
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
messed up.
Right? I mean, somebody else snapped this hobo in half, or maybe it was the alien that got loose. I'm not sure.
you know, roll the dice on that one.
Yeah.
Well, no, let's take this to a lab and analyze it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Although-
probably what Ben Kingsley was like too. Like, oh, well, obviously, right? But I gotta sound smart.
Yeah.
Oh, there's certain materials found in the wounds.
Oh, maybe she pushed him so hard that she literally just pushed her hand inside to his abdomen.
Yeah.
I love how all the soldiers get up to the tracks and they're like, man, a couple of trains went by. I'm like, well, you think that's where she is, guys? Like, what do you think? She's on the train? Is she that fast? I'm like, no, you were just walking. That's why she got there so quickly. She's not even that fast. You walked.
Yep.
And then you're like, what? I guess she got on a train, man. Freaking what the heck, boys?
But at least it gives. I mean, the opening is pretty cool.
I like the
I
opening.
like the opening a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She just embarrasses 100 soldiers,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, it establishes her dominance as a premium,
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
form.
Premium
Yeah.
in more ways than one. Sorry, my eyeball, just so those who don't know, I have sawdust in there from working in my house today.
Oh, no.
So occasionally I might be making weird faces, but that's why. Because I'll have 100 blinks in a row, no problem. Then one will be like, I'm still in here.
Yeah. Right. That little grain of sawdust, huh? Just
it's
comes
in
back
there
for
somewhere. No worries.
you. It'll be fine.
She gets to the train station. She's looking around, watching everybody. She watches this person, buy food with money. She learns very quickly, right?
My first watch, I was like, how does she know all this stuff?
Right.
Second watch, I went, oh, look at her analyze that. That's how she knew. That's how
Yep.
she knew.
Like when she
That's how
watches
knew.
the guy drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't
Same
notice
kind
that
of
the
thing.
first time.
Yeah.
When she drove back to the motel later, I was like, how do you know how to drive?
Yeah.
Freaking alien. Well, they got cars on Mars.
Yeah.
Well, they have some cars on Mars that we put there. But I mean, any other planet, I don't think she's from Mars. Well, we'll get to it. Anyway, so she steals a suitcase from somebody else's luggage and gets on the train.
Well, talk about how she picks up something at the gas station, right?
Just looks at it, some beef jerky.
Literally picks it up, just like, oh, I wonder what this is.
What flavor is this?
Are you gonna pay for that?
Yes!
Like, literally, she's right next to the
stumbles and
shelf.
puts it
Like
down.
she hasn't even. Yeah.
Imagine
That's crazy.
you were at Quick Trip and all you did was look at a pack of Skittles and somebody was like, "You gonna pay for that?"
From across the store. Yeah.
What about everybody else in here? There's 30 people. Why are you yelling at me?
You know,
Yeah.
I have
Sweet
to.
little girl in a
Yeah.
You know, I have to pick this up in order to purchase it, right? Like that's something that has to happen.
Yeah.
Or do I go pay for it? I want one of those and one of those, and then I go get them.
If she was sucking on the Slim Jim in the wrapper, you could be like, hey, listen, you are going to have to pay for that.
Right. Eventually.
Yeah.
But she ends up getting on the train with a stolen piece of luggage and she raids. I mean, she's being very stealthy, sneaking around.
Very smart.
Very
Yeah.
smart around different people, but she raids the kitchen car. She raids food from people's bags, right? Doesn't
She gets the dish brush.
the
Make sure
dish
she has
brush?
that.
Yep.
Yeah. She has that. She takes money. She rips the drawer out and grabs money.
Oh yeah, from the little commissary area. Yep.
Yeah.
So she's very smart. Ends up with a cabin and just
Yeah.
chocolate pudding.
Chocolate pudding.
Okay, that's,
Junk food.
I'm going to say that might be the grossest part of the whole movie.
What's the
Her
chocolate pudding?
two-fingering
Yes.
the chocolate pudding
Yes.
in her mouth.
Was that worse than the banana though?
Yeah, absolutely.
banana sideways.
I
The
could see you
banana
take a
thing's
bite
kind of
a
yeah,
banana.
right. Yeah. Aliens eat bananas with the peel on all the time.
Do they?
Yeah,
Yes.
obviously.
Have you ever seen K-Pax?
I have not seen K-Pac.
Well, on K-Pax, you look like a K-Paxian, and they always eat bananas with the peel on.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not gross to me. Two knuckling, some chocolate pudding on your fingers. That's
It's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like. I think that's another trope of like when someone's super hungry and it just shows them like,
Could you
they're
never make those noises into a microphone ever again?
I'm just saying.
No, it is
like,
a trope.
It is.
I'll give you the
It's
trope.
like in the terminal when Tom Hanks goes and buys Burger King
Yeah.
and he's just like, with the Whopper. Like it's just a Whopper. Like you
understand.
can't be that
Yeah.
hungry. And like here with the chocolate pudding, you can't be that hungry. I get it.
You
but
guys tell me you've never been
on.
knuckle deep in a snack pack? Never?
Only if that's a euphemism.
Guys, you can clear out an entire snack pack, 3 fingers,
yeah.
scoop
Oh,
it
And you
all
know
out
this
get
from
the whole thing
experience.
out.
Yeah.
Get the whole thing, so you don't have to go back in with your dirty fingers. You just got to get it all at once. Bam, right into your mouth.
Single dipper,
Is,
then it's okay.
Single dipper is
Yeah.
okay, right?
is there something you need to tell us, James?
Make sure you wash your hands first, Ryan. That's what I need to tell you, because you're using it as a utensil.
Wash your hands before you eat a snack pack, just in case.
Afterwards, you'd be like, Farrell, high five on a great show. You'd be like, oh, no thanks. I heard about your snack pack.
That's right. While you guys are talking about the next point, I'm going to be under the table like a troll, just scooping out pudding.
Oh my god.
All right, should we talk about the team they put together to hunt her down?
Dude, there's like this.
Forrest Whitaker.
I love how the sign off of the last scene with Ben Kingsley is like,
Hunt her down.
assemble a team. We're hunting her down. And I was like, great, here we go. All right. But tell me. Yeah, so now we get Michael Madsen,
Yes.
who more or less his character intro is nothing.
No, it's him like getting up and leaving.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. He's just getting up and leaving.
Giving his cat to his neighbor.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And
it.
the neighbor's like, "Oh, you leaving again?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll be gone for a while." And that's it.
I won't be that long. Bye-bye.
But you know he's the main
Have a good
character
time.
with a name like Preston Lennox.
Yeah,
dude.
That's a main character name.
No,
Pretty
and then you cut to Forrest Whitaker, who is at a psychiatrist, psychologist, right? Talking
Right.
about how he has feelings and people don't understand his feelings, and he's just very emotional.
Like, is he a psychic? This is what I couldn't understand. I mean,
He's
calls
an
himself
empath.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
he's
and
an
I
empath.
looked it up
Yeah.
because I
You
went,
did?
Yeah, maybe I don't understand fully what an empath is.
Okay.
Which is, you know.
It's not what he is.
The movie doesn't understand what it is.
Yeah, and I learned more, and there is more to it than I originally thought. I thought it was only that you could better understand people's feelings, almost to the point where you share those feelings with
Yeah.
them.
That's what I thought it was too.
And in the movie, you become a bloodhound. You can
She's that
sniff
way.
people out. You
Yes.
can sense them through doors. You can.
Yes, you know when they're here. Wait, someone is sad. This person must be here.
Yeah.
They're always sad.
Some of his lines too are just so comical, almost to the point where he's making this stuff up.
Imagine if I could just smell Kurt's sadness when he
Yeah.
comes in the room, right? I'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Mummer's here."
Mummer's here.
I mean, he's not very sad, but you know,
No,
occasionally
he's jovial.
he's a jovial
There are
person.
some people I know I can go, yeah, he's been here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
David. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He's not here. You can say it. It's okay.
But you don't smell sadness. You just smell like, it
Yeah.
smells like cat litter and Tide Pods.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Bob. Forrest Whitaker. We have Alfred Molina is some kind of scientist.
Dude, no intro.
For him,
So, like,
or
There's a brief intro
Helgenberger.
scene for Michael Madsen.
Yeah.
You get an actual scene for Forrest Whitaker. And I love how the guy just comes through the door like he knows exactly where he is.
It's for me.
He's just like, "Danny, you're needed." And he's like, "I gotta go. Save the world." Like,
Right.
And he puts his mask
yeah.
on.
Yeah, right. And then now they're all together. So now you got Alfred Molina
Yeah.
as a entomologist,
Right.
And
A Harvard teacher
a Harvard teacher.
That's
teacher.
right.
Yes.
And then
for the search and destroy mission.
molecular
and
biologist
then
is Laura.
Marg Hellenberger as
Yeah.
Dr. Laura,
Right.
who's the molecular biologist.
So they have a molecular biologist, a Harvard professor, an empath, and a fixer. We find out when he comes in the room, he's like, "You don't want to know what I do."
I love his lines. I love his dialogue because it's like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "Well, when the government wants someone to disappear, they disappear." I can't remember what the line
No,
of
but that's
dialogue is, but
basically
that's
it.
basically what it is. Yeah.
Like, okay, we all know what you do. He's like, "No, you don't." Yeah, dude, we clearly all know that. Like, why you're here? He's like, "If I'm involved, then you know this is already going the wrong way."
That's what it is. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Right. Meanwhile, the girl in the train starts to have sausage links fly out of her body. Okay.
Poor Michelle Williams.
I was freaking out when I was watching this.
Oh yeah.
Because they
like-
don't really tell you that she's like,
Alien sausages.
yeah,
That's what it looked like.
kind of came out of nowhere.
Like, literally out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And she's freaking out. I'm like, don't you know you're an alien? This is what I was confused about.
I
in
don't
the
think they
movie.
do, and I don't know when's a good point to talk about
Yes.
that either.
Well, but that's fine.
Because they do they find this out right now. Actually, that they bring the team over and Ben Kingsley basically explains.
Right. We have
what's
the
going
big
on, right?
expo scene, right? Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm before or after that or whatever.
You're
but
before, but that's okay.
He's explaining that we sent these messages, all this important stuff, like the DNA of what we're made of,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
many people are here, and
He's
what
like,
the
population, DNA.
the key code to our door. You can just come on in.
Our debit card numbers.
Yeah.
And the FBI mainframe
Absolutely,
logins.
yeah.
Like everything you would need to take over Earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and they sent back a code,
A meme.
and another meme. Yeah. They sent back a code, instructions how to better the DNA code.
Right. How to take their DNA and splice it with our DNA.
Is it because they didn't
Yes.
send DNA? They send instructions on how to better the code.
Oh.
And as far as I know, like if I were to think of it like a recipe, it's like they were like, add 3 more eggs and an extra stick of butter. You know what I mean? Like we
then-
only have certain things here on Earth.
You're about to see some crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
So they're like, somehow we made one of them with just what we have on Earth.
Because no material was sent. See, the way I heard it, and I only did one watch, so I apologize, and I don't know what you thought, but I thought they sent some kind of clean burning fuel, like probably to be like, look, we're nice.
They
Yes.
told us how to turn methane
Into
into
clean energy.
Yeah.
And the second thing was their DNA structure and how to make it interact with our DNA structure.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So Syl is technically half alien, half human.
Okay.
She doesn't seem to know that though. Later on
Right.
in the movie, she seems
Because
confused.
when the giant sausages start flying out of her, she's
Yeah.
very confused.
Well, I mean,
She even says later on,
hey,
though,
look, puberty's a confusing thing.
I know. Imagine that's what I'm going to tell my
Oh my
grandkids what
God.
puberty is like. That's what I'm going to tell
That'd
them.
be so funny.
Like, look, when you turn 12, make sure you're locked in a room. You're going to cocoon. Like this is going to happen. It's going to be scary.
don't be on a train. It's tough when you're on a train.
Yeah.
You'll come out as a mature woman.
You're gonna.
Oh my goodness.
If only it was that fast.
Yeah.
Syl later, though, does say to that lady, she's like, do you know your purpose? Like, why are you here? Where are you
Yeah.
from? Who sent you? I don't know who sent me. So she just doesn't know
doesn't
who
know
she is
anything.
or what
Yeah,
she is
yeah.
or why
Yeah.
she is.
Exactly.
Biology is just taking the driver's seat there
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
It always
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, I loved that expo scene when they do the slide. Well, some movies it's a slideshow, and some movies it's a computer, and they just gather around and be like, "Here's all the relevant information."
I like because like Ben Kingsley, who is a classically trained actor, is more or less just here for expo dump after expo dump.
Right.
And this first one is really good. I like how they actually include a lot of factual information about the SETI program.
Right.
And how they even like bring up that it went from the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico and all that other stuff, which all like actually really happened.
No, it's good.
But then I love the sign off of you have all the science people, right? And they're all talking sciencey stuff. And he looks at,
Yeah.
I love the line when he looks at Michael Madsen and he's like, oh, you're the non-scientist. What do you think? He's like, well, I think you got a recipe from outer space and you use some fancy formula and now you want us to kill it.
He's like, "Well, yeah,
I was like, that's such a Bob line.
yeah, no, for sure."
Yes.
It was so stupid. Like, yeah, we just thought we'd shoot this crap into some eggs and see what happened.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every scientist in every science fiction movie ever was like, "That was a horrible idea."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, when does it ever work out for that? It wouldn't be a movie if it
No,
did.
no, it wouldn't. But
Right.
then you got to get a character like Preston Lennox, who's like just the guy to say the,
Yeah.
I
the
do like
layman's
that.
things.
I like that Dan immediately felt sorry for her, and it's just like doesn't even. Yeah.
No. And how about when Finch was like, "And we made it a woman, so it would be more docile and controllable."
You don't get out.
All right.
Yeah, you don't get out much.
Okay.
Yeah. How'd that make you feel, Jenna?
I did not like that.
Yeah.
Well, when did this movie take place?
95.
Yeah.
95,
I mean,
yeah.
it's whatever.
Oh, jeez. Back in the dark ages, as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. The 90s were a weird time for everybody, as you see by the clothes in the movie.
It's only 10 years before I was born.
You're right.
Yeah.
A lot of those styles are coming back, honestly.
They are.
Yeah.
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 That's true. So she cocoons after the giant sausages string her up onto the wall. She ends up in this massive cocoon, and the one very nice train attendant who had took her ticket and gave her half price before because she was a little kid and was like, "Oh, you traveling alone, sweetheart?" Comes back in to check on her, finds like the aftermath of World War III of pudding snacks in the room.
And it looked like just like frozen French fry bags
Yeah.
emptied and
Yeah.
weird things that she was eating.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strobe light.
Don't
whatever.
open the bathroom if a little child is in there. Maybe, I don't know. That's just me. But she opens the bathroom.
And one bathroom for like a train car is like so like
Yeah.
weird that it was just like connected to her like cabin or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a little bit weird, the layout. And then this sweet lady, don't sit there and stare at the pulsating cocoon. Get the frick out of there.
That pulse. That was nasty.
It was
Yeah.
gross.
It was an awesome looking cocoon, though.
Oh
Yes.
yes.
Oh, no, the
Oh
effects-
no,
Yeah, I
no,
think
the
it
effects are great.
But, yeah.
But I was sitting there going, okay, I always sometimes try to put myself, I always sometimes try to put myself in that situation. And I understand wanting to check on a little girl traveling by herself. But the second half my face would get in the door and I'd be like, nope.
She started walking
You know, like,
closer. Yeah.
She started going closer to it,
Yeah.
like, oh, let's investigate.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
not something.
No way.
Not something maybe you would do.
Never.
If I
But,
peeked in the
you know,
door,
Look, have you heard of the call of the void?
No.
You know,
what the hell is that?
It's that innate sense of you need to explore something dangerous.
Brian, talk sense into him, please. If you peeked in the door, what would you
oh,
do?
absolutely. I saw the ravaging scene of someone demolish some snack packs, and I peeked in the door and saw anything a little funky. I'd be like, no way.
Yeah, thank
It
you.
was not in her pay grade to have
Right.
to worry about that.
That thing
Like, just
smelled
leave.
too. You
Right.
knew it smelled.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say you have to know that smells. You open that door and it's like,
Yeah. You think that smelled like wine and roses in there?
No.
Way.
No.
Maybe
way.
beer and
Cracked
pizza.
that door and went, "Ooh, honey." Yeah.
Yeah.
Light a candle in there, sweetheart. What? It's because you ate all this stuff.
Yeah.
She thought she just took the massivest crap of all time.
It just ended up on the corner of the
Ended
wall.
up- hey, man, I've worked retail before. The people do some things in bathrooms that you would not believe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Nothing as bad as that one chick in Deep Rising, though.
No. That was horrible.
The chick that gets sucked down the
Sucked right into the toilet.
sucked down the toilet in Deep Rising and
that's
just
bad.
spattered all over.
It's another alien on Earth trying to kill people movie.
Yeah, who knows?
You would have probably investigated, right? Jenna would have hold on and pulled up a chair and put her glasses on and sidled up next to it and said, "Let me see."
I
what's
don't know
going
who
on."
you think you're talking to, but I would never do that. I would see what happened in the room and then just go get somebody else.
You wouldn't-
I wouldn't even open the bathroom. No.
She's like, if people know I found this, I'm gonna have to clean it up, and she would slide it back closed.
Exactly.
Be like, somebody else is gonna come check on her.
There's a lot of things about the movie that I think like, okay, I can understand the type of person that would create this thing, right?
Yes.
Like but then looking at the Cocoon, I was like, well, I really think this is sort of phallic's the wrong word. Is it phallic?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is.
It looks like a
Vagina?
labia.
It looks like a labia.
Yes.
No, my wife said the same thing.
Yeah.
Giant alien vag
Yeah.
Yes.
spits out
Yeah.
full grown woman.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was really disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, because she like
Awesomely
reaches
made,
out and
but it's
kills her
also-
before she comes out. Right?
I don't think she does. Something.
No, it
does.
was like the cocoon.
the
that-
cocoon killed her.
Yeah.
Something
to
yeah.
protect it.
She needed more calories.
Well, you're right. That's kind of what it
Yeah.
was because it like grabs her, pulls her in real quick, and like sucks her face.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she falls out to the ground.
Right.
And then you get the birth. The birth
You
of
and your
I
Syl.
do
noises
not like
today.
the ASMR
It's-
coming from over the
No, I don't like it either.
not.
It's a security system. Like, stay away.
That's right.
The boobies are not cooked yet.
She's gonna come out with one. It's not gonna be good. Not for anybody. She'll never find a mate. She still would.
Right. The biggest travesty of this movie. How can Natasha Henstridge not get laid?
Struggle to
Yeah.
get laid. Okay.
Sure, I'm gonna believe that one.
Suspend my disbelief that there wouldn't be a line out the door.
Yeah.
Even if there'd be guys, even if they knew they'd get their head bit off afterwards, they'd be like, I'll get in line.
I've done a lot of real great things in my life.
Seriously.
I'll give it a go.
I've checked a lot of boxes. I think I'm good.
Right. So that is by far the most unbelievable aspect of this movie.
Yes.
Not even close. She gets off the train. She's wearing the attendant's, and I don't want to be rude to the attendant, but does she have a tailor in there in the train with her?
The
she have a
sweater was
shower?
baggy.
Okay. Was it
The
baggy?
sweater was baggy. Everything else was form fitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Did she have a mini skirt on too?
Yep. Or a skirt. I don't know if it was a mini skirt, but it was a skirt.
It was like a Pan Am, like a classic.
Maybe it was a mini
flight
skirt on the attendant
thing, right?
and not on her. Maybe that was the way they decided to do it. I don't know.
They just had to basically have her exiting, just looking fine. Yeah.
I'm so glad they have the empath here because when they investigate the train car, he's like, something bad happened
Oh
here.
gosh, did I laugh hard?
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are one of those lines where I'm like,
Yes.
is he faking being an empath? Or he's like, something bad happened here.
So glad that you're here. I really am.
They're like, yes, you're right. Open the door. Oh, well.
You could probably smell it through the door, and
Yeah.
then he was like,
Yeah.
He smelled it. He didn't
Yeah.
sense anything.
I mean, there's a dead person on the floor. There's afterbirth in there somewhere.
Yep.
He was just looking at the snack pack wrappers. That's all.
That's what it
Oh,
was.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
I was talking about this. This is what I felt.
I didn't even get in there.
The
Yeah.
knuckle deep
Something bad.
pudding massacre.
James has been here.
Maybe.
Yeah, you just
Maybe.
you saw him just looking around, his eyes wandering. James has been here.
I like how they're like,
James has been here.
this is Hauser's work. Which one? James. For sure. Not Jenna.
Anytime you say a Forrest Whitaker line, you got to say it twice. He does it all the time.
He does. He does, yeah.
He does it all the time.
He does it all the time. So I like how they have this conversation about how they're making a big deal out of the fact that like she's in L.A., the city of the future. What are we gonna do? She's loose in L.A.
I mean, in 1995,
Yeah.
who knows what that meant?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's changed. in
Was
2020.
LA like a cutting edge thing in 95?
Feel like it was the same as it is now.
I feel like it was the same even 10 years before that. Like in
Yeah.
85, you could have been like, well, it's LA in 85.
Right.
It made me think of Die Hard.
Yeah.
When he gets there and then the girl comes, runs, and jumps in the arms. He's like, what is it? He says L.A. or California.
Yeah, frickin' California.
Yeah.
He says, right?
California.
Yeah. The first pair of yoga pants I think ever in existence were on that girl in Die Hard 2.
I mean, we could get some people to write into the show. Like, if you were in if you were in LA in '95,
Yes.
was it cutting edge? Was it the city of the future, or was it just same old LA? We would
wanna
like
know.
to know your experience.
Specifically, Natasha Hendrich, please reach out and let us know. That would be great. What'd you think of her first look? So, as an alien going to buy her first pair of clothes,
Yeah.
right? What'd you guys feel? I mean, wedding dress and fanny pack is certainly a look.
I wonder what in her made her want to buy that. Like,
I don't know.
understand. She doesn't have much of a personality, but she decided to get a wedding dress.
Right.
Oh, Wonder Woman wedding dress too. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It's gold bedazzled all over that belt, like a superhero belt on it, and the
The
gloves.
fanny pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody seemed to really care about it walking.
No, that's
not
that's
So
actually
I think that kind of.
valid for LA.
Yeah.
No
I was
one
going to say, it's
bat
like,
an eye.
that was probably in Clueless as well.
Right. These idiots that are hunting her down at this point are like,
Yes.
you know what would really help us hunt her down? We should make another alien. Right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a good idea?
No, that's exactly what.
So that they know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Just so,
So-
we know what's under there.
I just like when she's like, we should make another alien like without the human DNA.
Right.
And I'm just like, how long is that going to take? Because you guys are on a manhunt. Like, this is the first 48.
Right.
You know, the first 48 hours are crucial. And you want to go back to the lab.
And you've tracked her to LA.
You've already tracked her to LA, but let's go back to the lab and create another alien so we can study it. Like,
Right.
that's not going to take 24 hours.
No. That doesn't seem like a good plan when the whole purpose of a movie like this is forward momentum constantly, right?
Right.
Like The Fugitive or whatever. Like you're just like should be constant forward momentum.
Yeah, I think if they did that like at the beginning, maybe like
right.
when they were still
when they
like
first
meeting.
were doing the
Yeah.
exposition scene or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Not after they already took a train to LA and tracked her down there.
It's almost like the screenplay is the problem with the movie.
Oh no. She goes to a hotel or a motel or whatever.
Holiday Inn.
Motel, Holiday Inn. Goes into a hotel, pays for a room, and basically this is where we leave. This is where we press pause on her journey while we go back to the lab.
She watches some TV.
She does watch some TV that hotels sometimes have available.
Yep.
Some shows.
Some particular shows.
Right.
Particular late night.
You're talking about the hair color?
USA Up All Night.
Some late
Perhaps
night
some Cinemax.
adults only kind of
material.
Boobies.
What would have how would the movie have been different if she'd been watching the Great British Bake Off or something like right?
She would have just tried to go bake a cake somewhere.
I need eggs and
I
milk
need
to
eggs.
make a
It would
cake.
have just been her going to the grocery store.
But she just happened to channel flip to a porn.
Yeah.
And now all she
And
wants
now
to do the rest of the
she's
movie
like, oh yeah, I gotta do that.
That's right.
This is awakening something in me.
Right.
And then it flips to the hair dye commercial.
Instead of awakening how to make a pie or something.
Yeah,
It would
yeah.
have been a lot less dangerous.
It would have been way less.
Put the pie down. They kick in the door. We got her, sir. Just blew her away.
blew
She was
her
trying to
away.
make a pie.
What kind of pie?
Pumpkin, obviously. Okay.
Should have been apple.
It's no wonder you shot her.
That's the one. That's how we knew
Smelled
she was
it
an
whopping.
alien, sir.
That's how we knew she was the alien. Only Americans make apple
That's
pie.
right. That's right. All right. So they go. They get the microscope with the syringe going into the egg, right? And they're like, all of a sudden, the freaking camera goes out mid, like it's just pushing in to go in, and the camera fritzes.
Yes. And then they're like, oh, call a maintenance tech. He'll have to come down here and fix that.
Which is literally take it out, put the other one in, plug it in.
Which, as a maintenance tech,
Yes.
it's literally something that happens to me though at work, where they're like, "Oh, we need you to come do this," and I'm like, "You need me to come like just replace your key? Why couldn't you just
Do it.
I literally had to turn the key on someone's like filing cabinet the other day because they didn't know how it worked.
Awesome.
I know, legit.
Well, just
great.
make yourself happy every time you cash that paycheck.
I do.
I turned a key for this
I turned
today.
the key today.
That's right.
Someone didn't realize that it was in the 6
right.
o'clock position. Had to go to the 12 o'clock
Just
position.
as long as you know every day when your hand hits that door that you made somebody's day better.
I do.
Okay.
I walk in every day, look at that building, and say, my building screams for me.
What was in the drawer? It was a sub sandwich.
Dude.
Thanks, Tim. I was starving.
Bro, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a foot long
I
in
was
here.
delirious. I haven't had food in hours. I didn't even know how this key worked.
The file cabinet. I need my sandwich.
I would do that for a Subway sandwich.
Call a maintenance tech.
I love Subway.
I would have just had a crowbar and been getting that thing open.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would do. All right. She's like, I can fix the camera. I'm not a moron.
Yeah, this happens in my lab all the time. I'll just go do it myself.
Right.
And then Kingsley, oh, well, yeah, I'd prefer that. This is top secret.
But she needs help.
Right. I'll help you hold the thing.
I need help doing that. Oh, really?
Oh, a man of action.
Because I watched him just stand behind you while you replace the camera.
Yeah.
He supervised.
That's what I'm
Which
saying.
is really like kind of a union workplace, I guess. This is
Yeah.
as you said, this kind of
Yeah.
all checks out.
I was gonna say prevailing wage job.
Yeah.
Like, nope, I can't. Like, that's not under our scope of contract.
Sorry.
We got to get the maintenance tech to come do the
Gotta
camera.
do this.
Yeah. It's got to be a 2-man job because now it's in a high risk area.
As soon as they get the camera back on, they see that the cell is growing exponentially.
It has proliferated.
That's right. Oh, and so they're like, get the top back on, get the top back on. And Michael Madsen drops the nut through the, why do you have a grated floor in this lab?
Because fire? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a good reason. That's a good question.
You know, this guy, like, he's supposed to be this mysterious government mercenary for hire fixer. Like, you don't know what he used to do, but, you know, he's got all the quippy dialogue of, oh, yeah, if they're calling me, then, you know, something's already hit the fan. Or, like, they're like, oh, what are you doing? He's like, well, normally when they want me to find people, they don't want them alive. Like,
That's right.
He's got all the quippy dialogue.
Yes.
And this guy drops a bolt in a high pressure situation.
Way to establish he's a great fixer.
What a moron.
They literally call him a hunter, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Well, now they can't seal the top. And so this thing is growing. It's turning into just a giant raging booger.
It is
inside
a
this
black.
like-
It's a coal miner's booger.
Yeah.
It is. It is a coal miner's.
Coca-Cola slime. Some kid's just blowing a straw on it.
That's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola slime. Just cuts away to a kid with a straw through the thing and just tell that kid to knock it off. This thing is getting bigger and bigger, and they're like, "Let us out of the room." I can't. I have to follow protocol.
He didn't even say that. He said to set it up beforehand, before even they want to go. He goes, "Oh no, I can't let them out of the room." I went, "Why?"
Why?
Thank you.
They can't get
Can you
the
give a reason? Can you give a
because
reason?
the alien might escape.
Thank
No,
you.
okay. The point that he said that he like couldn't let them out, it was like still like probably around the same size that it was.
Right, it was still
that
in the
whole time. You could have let them out and closed the door because it wasn't like a hard door to close or whatever. It literally just closed. But he waited until the last possible second.
Yeah.
Right, and then
The
he
thing
decided
gets
to-
out.
Yeah,
And now
it's
they have
out.
to fight it. He's like trying to stab it with a pipe.
Yeah.
And the thing's got teeth that's suctioning up to the glass. And
Yep,
it's like,
yep.
holy crap, this is an angriest
Yeah.
booger I've ever seen in my entire life.
And then he
And-
starts the fire,
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, the original burn didn't work, so now we have a countdown clock. You have exactly 2 minutes
That's
to
right.
figure
Yeah.
this out before the whole room becomes
They
incinerated."
make like a makeshift
Yes.
flamethrower. They're
Yeah.
trying to kill the thing and the pipe.
And then somebody else opened the door. I think it was Dan.
They finally like,
Yeah.
open the door. I can't have to follow protocol. And Ben Kingsley's trying his best to like do that, like staring off into space, you know, convincing himself that he's doing the right thing. They finally just knock him out of the way and open the door. And turns out it was super easy, barely an inconvenience to come through that door
Yep.
and close it.
Turns out the stakes were actually really low.
Very low.
Yeah.
yeah, and it was only 2 buttons, and everyone around him was screaming to let them out. Anyone could have just pressed the button the whole time.
Boink.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was really easy.
Amazing what would have happened if you just did this a minute and 59 seconds
Exactly.
ago.
Yeah.
You
when
know.
it was still in the thing, they could have
Yes.
was the door open for a second as they snuck around the door and shut
Exactly.
it?
Yeah, I'm glad you guys are out here. Wait 2 minutes because it's going to be all flames. It's
Yes.
super cool to watch.
Yeah,
And then
no.
the whole thing went,
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
this was such a forced.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing organic about this scene.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It is completely forced in, like, oh, we need to add a moment of suspense in this movie that's been nothing but kind of dialogue and process and, you know, this kind of stuff.
They
Okay,
could
let's.
have made a better reason.
They
for him
really
to not
could have,
be able
though.
to open the door.
They really could have.
Yeah.
Like the whole stakes of this scene, the thrills of it, it just sucks. And like you even said, like the way you did Ben Kingsley, that's exactly how he is in this scene too, where he's like, I can't open the door. It's protocol. I can't. And it's like, that's friggin' Sir Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
And he looked like he had no interest in doing this scene. And I don't blame him because this scene sucks.
Yeah. Cut back to the hotel here, and this is where she comes up. The alien Syl comes to the front desks and asks the guy who, thank God, played for the other team. At least for him, thank God.
You'd think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think he does.
Oh, yeah.
And she goes, "Where can I find a man?" And he's like, "Well, dang, honey. Okay, well, there's a club around the corner, right, that you can go to." And so
The id.
Swipes her credit card. This is important because this is the first time they were able to track. She's got the stolen credit card.
Yep.
And she goes to the club, and she's like, "All right, cool. We're gonna find a man here." And Alien's first time in a club, she's scoping it out, finds a guy that she thinks might be a good potential mate. And this other girl swoops in and says, "I got a party I have to go to later and no one to take me." Like maybe they'd exchange one sentence, like, "Where are you from?" And she says, "What?" I was like, is she going to say Galaxia 19 or something? But she says,
Yeah.
Foreign. I'm foreign.
I'm foreign.
Right? And then the other girl swoops in. And so she sees her as sexual competition.
Yep.
Right.
Follows the girl to the bathroom, waits to see what stall she goes into, and then like climbs through the maintenance hatch to get behind the wall somehow, or goes into the other
I
room
don't know
or
how
whatever.
she did that so quickly.
She got behind the wall.
Behind the tiled toilet.
Wall. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not the other stall. It's
I don't know. Did she go into the men's room? If it's back to back, I have no idea.
May have been a pipe chase in between the men's room and the
Who knows?
the women's room.
She got in there quick because the girl,
did.
before her cheek, or right as her cheeks hit the seat very much, she's getting her spine ripped out of her body. Boom! Boom! Just like that. And I was like, oh, damn.
The girl didn't even. She
She fell
scream.
over.
She
Her
just went,
spine just stayed up. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
eh. I was like, well, dang, girl.
That's like the most embarrassing way to die. Like on the toilet with your spine just like broken in half.
It
How
could have been.
embarrassing for her. She's definitely going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
in the bathroom with her spine
So
just hanging out for all to see.
That's right.
Well, at least the other girl only
Her
saw the
underwear
blood
down
from
around her
the-
ankles.
Yeah.
At least she didn't.
The other girl finds her right.
At least she didn't take like a large.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been.
Had she taken like
waited
a
another minute.
another minute? If the scene just lingered for another minute and she was just like, oh,
And then her hand scuffs it. Yeah.
Grab the wrong thing. Oh, she was just judged the height wrong and reached into the toilet.
No.
Ugh. Damn it! I'm really mad, right? She had to do some quick goat math there. There you go. She goes back out to the guy in the club and is like, "I have a party to go to," or a different guy in the
Different
club.
well, she
guy.
whips
Same guy.
her. She whips her shirt off too.
Oh, that's right. She takes
Yeah.
the shirt off to be
Yep.
more
Just-
alluring.
Yep. She throws it to the guy.
Again,
Now she's there just in her bra.
no one's gonna bat an eye at a girl in a
Bruh.
bra in a club in L.A. Okay, she goes up to this other guy and says, "Reggie," that was his name. Goes up to
Sure.
Reggie and says, "I have a party to go to later and no one to take me. Where's it at?"
I don't know.
Right answer,
Look,
according to
I'll
Reggie.
tell you.
And this is the problem with this whole scene is that men would be coming up to her. She shouldn't be the one having to go
Right.
up to men. It
The
doesn't
fact
make any sense.
that she made it from the door to the bathroom and back to the dance floor without one person stopping her.
Yeah.
To be like, "Hey, baby, let me buy you a drink." Bull crap.
Yeah.
It's because it's written by a screenwriter,
That's right.
Yeah.
Danny Feldman,
Danny Feldman,
my guy.
who probably has never even been touched by a woman like
He wants
that.
women to come after men. Yeah, I get it.
There's a whole
It's wish fulfillment for him.
No, there's a whole thing about that, like male screenwriters of the 90s and how like elements of movies like this are just like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
like just like a male screenwriter's wet dream right there.
Wait, I said those exact words too.
Yeah.
Not exactly. Okay, I got to go back.
Well, okay.
Retract
Just
that.
retract a little
I
bit.
talked a lot of those same words to my wife. I said, watching this, it's like I know the guy who wrote this.
Yeah.
I know what he's like.
Yes. Yes.
I know that he has to ascend the stairs to get dinner from his mom.
Yep.
And I know that he has paused the Lethal Weapon VHS many times right in the beginning.
Yep.
Well, because we've already seen her breasts. Well, when she came out of the cocoon, when she was trying the bra on at the hotel. By the time she gets here with Reggie, it's the third time she's
Well,
been
and then
naked.
the TV show too.
And the TV show.
Yeah.
And this is the third time she's been naked. She goes to first of all, kudos to Reggie for installing the snapper in his house. You guys see that?
Jeez.
When he came
Yes.
They know different snaps too. Yeah. Different things.
in. Well, that's for the music.
Yeah.
This is for lights.
Yeah.
I don't think the snapper was ever a thing. Wasn't you guys were
No
alive
way.
in the night?
Yeah.
There's this SNL skit or something. It's a joke in a movie somewhere. Like, I'm going to come up with the snapper. Well, they already have that. It's called the clapper.
And he's like, yeah, but this is snaps. What movie? You're right. What movie is that?
Oh, man.
That's going to drive me crazy.
Me too.
All right, well, he has it. So whoever thought of it in that movie, sorry, but they invented it in Species.
Yeah.
You know the kind of guy that has the snapper lights and music on his house when he brings a girl in is not the kind of guy that you want to be with.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
He clearly has money.
Well,
Okay, but he clearly shows in a little bit why he's not the guy you want to be with.
his apartment was the guy who wrote the movie, his dream loft. I guarantee it. There were
Yep.
That's the
20
other thing.
samurai swords on the wall.
Yes.
Like, I get it. Some guys like having a samurai sword or whatever, but there was like 6 of them up on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a snapper.
Pulls in with the convertible BMW. He's got the infinity fall garden bed things, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna take a shower.
I'm going to take a shower. Now it cuts back and they're at the club, the search party's at the club. And it's like, she wouldn't have just left with anybody. Not somebody that's too dominant, a nice guy. Like, this is the empath going through.
It's like, because like it's the scene with like the empath and then Marg Hellenberger's kind of like, she would be able to sense certain characteristics of a mate, like certain rats. There are certain rats that know when other rats are diseased and they don't mate with them. And I was like, all right,
whatever.
cool.
Okay.
Why is there?
then the guy at the bar
then
was
why
like-
did the bubonic plague happen? But okay.
They're saying this to the bouncer or whatever. And the bouncer's like, well, that sounds like Reggie. Reggie left with a blonde.
Dude, yes.
Okay.
There were so many people in that club. You cannot tell me that you knew exactly.
It's funny too because he says that in the beginning when they ask him, they bring the bouncer aside. They're like, "Hey, we're looking for someone I love with a blonde." He's like, "Oh, you're looking for a guy that lived with a blue-eyed blonde or a
that's
blonde-eyed,
everybody.
blue-eyed blonde."
Good
What am I
luck.
saying? What am I saying? You know what I'm
Try
saying.
Reggie. It's probably
Blonde-eyed,
Reggie.
blue-eyed,
But then
blue-eyed,
immediately-
blonde-haired
yeah, it's
babe.
Reggie.
There.
Listen, don't go home with a blonde-eyed, blue-haired girl. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? Don't do that. That's bad. So
Someone leaves
While-
the club with a blonde-haired girl on Saturday night. Yeah.
I know how much you loved this scene. Reggie gets out of the shower, okay, and he's like, "Come over here." She's just watching him. He puts his pants on.
How about Reggie too in the shower?
Yeah, when he like wipes.
He was
the
in there for
steam
2
away.
seconds.
That was the shortest shower ever.
Wipes it away.
Right.
But man, he's just chiseled.
He is.
What a guy. Good for him.
Okay. Cool.
That's what
Come
he was
on.
focused on.
Cool. All right.
Also, just like him showering first, like
Yeah.
it just shows also who wrote this doesn't really know how those encounters work. He's like,
Well, he invited
I'm
her,
gonna
but he
get
was
a girl
like,
home. And
yeah.
then
Right.
what
Yeah.
do I do? I probably.
He says you can shower
I do?
later
What'd
if
I
you want
do?
to.
He's like, you can shower now or you can shower later.
Yeah.
Like, that would
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah.
He gets out. He goes,
I would very much insist that you shower first. We were just at a club.
why don't you take your clothes off? I want to see you. And she said this so many times. She takes off her shirt. And how does he say it?
Very nice.
One of the best line readings in the entire movie.
That is
Very
the biggest
nice.
ick ever. And that's exactly like the dude that wrote this doesn't know how you would interact in that situation.
That's exactly when she got the ick too, because she's like,
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Forget it. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Like, get me out of here.
I love that she understands the ick. I love it.
Exactly what she is. He's like, she realizes suddenly who this guy is, or more. She sensed he was diabetic. I think is what it ended up being.
Well,
right?
yes. We can find that out later.
Right. But she's no longer. And here's the thing I think it's interesting about Syl is she's not just going to kill everybody for no reason. She wasn't going to kill him. She said, "Drive me back, please."
Yeah.
She only kills when she has to. Okay.
She kills when she's threatened.
Right. Or in this case, to take out a sexual competitor.
Well,
right.
Because she was threatened by the sexual, competitor.
right? And so he says, "All right, you said no. I heard you. This is the skeeziest line of the movie, but get over here anyway."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, dude, you done messed up, Ron." Or Regai or whatever, however he would say it.
Jaqueline.
Jaqueline. She goes over. She's like, "Okay, fine." Starts to-
Surprisingly, that worked, I guess. But
yeah, to him, he was probably
Yeah.
like, works every time, 60% of the time.
60% of the time works every time.
They just want to know I'm listening. I
right.
heard you say no. Come on over.
So you want you to know that I know.
But this
But this is still happening.
this I think is my favorite kill scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was mad she killed this
Oh
guy?
no! But even just like the
way it happened.
French kiss of death.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
oof.
yeah.
Tongue right out the back of his head.
Yes.
Just glorious.
Tongue punch. That's how you tongue punch. That's how you tongue punch someone, I guess.
Dang.
That was written in the action notes. Yeah.
What's
Still tongue punches.
what's a tongue punch? She just heard it somewhere once.
It cuts to her. She's showering and just spitting blood out of her mouth like 2 different times, just tons of blood. Meanwhile, Michael Madsen's character has crept into the house, is searching around the house.
Lurking
and searching.
Lurching.
Lurching.
That's what you call lurching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lurching.
That's when you're lurking and searching.
Yeah. He's lurching through the house.
He is though. He's such a klutz. Like once again, Mr.
Yeah.
Silent Assassin, mercenary
Carries this
man.
little, little handgun with him.
He's
the
got a
whole
little,
time.
a little Glock with him. All right, and he's like, I'm like,
Gets
where-
into the bathroom, and she's gone.
Yes.
Okay.
He's okay. And when they do define what he is in the beginning, they go, so you basically hunt people.
Yeah.
He goes, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
So he is the hunter.
Yeah.
Right.
Who at no point in the whole movie goes, I have some information that could help in finding somebody.
Not once.
Nope.
Not once. And when he actually gets to a place where someone was, he's like, they're probably, no, wait, they're not here. They're
Yeah.
not here. Never mind.
Yep.
Never mind.
Never. He's always following other people's leads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was acting like he was going to be the guy that was like going
Right.
to solve this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut to her. She's walking around town, gets hit by a car, and this blonde center part looking 90s dude comes over and helps take her to the hospital. And
Whip Hubley.
is that his name?
Yes.
Pays for her like with his credit card because she doesn't know if she has insurance,
This
whatever.
scene. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And she's
Do you know her
laying-
name? No.
No.
Well, does she have insurance? How the heck do I
Yep.
know, lady?
Yeah.
I
What's
just
his
said I
name?
don't know her name.
What's his name?
The actor's name is Whip Hubley.
Okay, it's called Whip Hubley Insurance.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Because I'm paying for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it cuts to her laying
What
on
a
the
nice
exam
guy,
table.
though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great guy.
Good God, like,
Yeah.
yo,
See
does she
a
have
girl
insurance?
get launched through a
I don't
bus
know.
stop, and he's just like,
I don't know. Just put it on my card for
And
now.
then like how like 30 people showed up around her like immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just, like, I don't know.
she's got a broken scapula. That's it. Okay. She didn't have cuts or anything. She's laying on this exam table, and this doctor's like, oh, clearly a broken scapula here. Well, you're going to go ahead and holy crap! Because it just starts to heal itself.
Mutate because it heals itself.
Yes.
That was
Right in front
much
of his
bigger
eyes.
reaction than what he had. He was like, oh, what's going on here?
What is
Yeah.
what is happening?
What's going on
What's
here?
happening?
She,
the
and
other
then she's
nurse-
so unbothered by it. She's
No.
just like,
And the other nurse like,
The
doctor,
nurse-
you're needed in this other room. He's like, yeah, but this is. She's like, I don't care. Like this, you would tell her to shut up,
Yeah.
and whatever she's trying to get you to go do, and be like, no, something major just happened here.
I think there was a child
It is.
burn victim.
That's what it is.
Is that
It's
what
So
it
it's
such-
not whatever.
It is.
Forget the child burn victim.
It's such a throwaway line, but it is. She comes in, she's like, "Doctor, you're needed. There's a child burn victim in the other room."
I don't give a crap.
And he's like, I don't know. Yeah.
The child's already burned, right?
Don't they have another doctor?
If I figure out what's up with her shoulder, I might be able to use it to fix that
That's
kid.
right.
Yeah.
If the child's
gonna
already burned,
yes,
not
right?
gonna get burned anymore.
I'm going to harvest her DNA.
crazy.
And now everyone's going to self-regenerate.
Why is that crazy?
They're not going to get burnt anymore.
No, they're already burned.
Okay.
It's gonna still be burned when I get there. I will get there and fix the child.
Give it some salve. I will be with this lady with the shoulder.
Knock him out. Whatever you got to do, so he doesn't feel
my
the pain
gosh.
anymore.
How much,
and I
of
will
his,
be
how much of his body burned? 60%. Well, it's going to be 60%
good.
now or later
That's
or
right.
whatever. Doesn't matter.
The fire's out
Fire's out.
because this crazy crap just happened at my table, and I need to. But no, he's like, all right, I guess I'll go do that. But that was so weird. All right, I'll tell
She
the
just
police
walks
later.
out of the hospital.
She
Like,
just leaves.
Yep.
He's out there. Blondie's out there, and has a BMW, of course, right?
The second BMW.
Yeah.
where does she find
whips
these,
whip.
like these men?
Whips
like, I'm just
whip.
wondering,
Yeah.
like, actually, like, where does she find these men? Like,
They find her.
They find her.
They're all rich.
Well, she had originally driven. I forgot this part. She had originally driven Reggie's BMW until it ran out of gas,
Oh, yes.
and then started walking. Okay. So yes, every guy she finds is rich.
and I
now
want to know
who's
her
going
secret.
back and
You wanna
microanalyzing
know her
James?
secret?
Like, I'm trying to figure out how, like, she does it.
Here's the thing. I know how she does it, and I don't want you to do that. Okay. So,
Okay.
all right. Sorry.
All right.
If I had to guess why you're setting up the fact that
Yes.
the car broke down,
The car broke down because it's sitting on the side of the road.
and you're setting this up because the team shows up.
Yes. Thank you. And you can tell what
And
happened.
Forrest Whitaker with this next greatest line.
Yes.
Looks at the gas gauge and goes, I can't even say it. It's so stupid. She walked. She walked somewhere.
Well, then
She didn't use this car right here, but
then
that's
he-
out of gas.
felt the BMW and then said, she went that way.
Like the car has feelings.
Like I'm saying, empaths can't tell things from cars,
Yeah, it's a bloodhound, man.
right?
They should have just called him that instead of calling him an empath. That's what's so
Right.
stupid about it.
call him
You
a
could have
psychic.
said, you could
Yeah.
have said.
Had they made
he
him a
has
telepath.
strange powers, period.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that
And
was
we'll
that was
buy.
still a thing too back then too.
Sure.
Like it was still okay for telepaths to be in movies and to actually be credible characters.
Right. Yeah.
Like Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost.
Right.
That was like a thing. And now then Christopher Nolan came along and screwed it up with all his realism crap.
Ugh.
Yeah.
All right, so Blondie takes her back to his crib, and he's also rich as hell, just like he said, super nice. I like to live out here because it's not like I'm in LA.
That's the most unrealistic part. Is that every man she finds just has like beautiful houses and cars.
Yeah, he's out in the Palisades.
Hot tub sex time, as far as Syl is concerned.
Well, they take a photo first.
This has happened. Oh,
For-
that's
for
right.
Because he brought
no
out some,
reason.
He brought out some cheese and some.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some
He's
wine.
actually a genuinely nice guy. Like he
Let's-
brought a charcuterie board. Like
Let's
that's so
immortalize the moment. Sets up a Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes like a ghost photo when they finally see it. She's like, "Ah."
You know, and
hilarious.
okay, so this going back, I'm like, so
Yeah.
I thought that too. Like, why is it like there's a scary movie where wherever you take a picture, their face is all blurry. I was like,
Yeah.
why is her face all blurry? But if you go back and watch it again, she's looking at him. And he's like, no, look at the camera.
Yeah.
And at the last second, she turns. So I don't know
Right.
if it's kind of like a blur.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. She
Or-
does because the camera flashes and she kind of does like one of those like, oh, what was that? Things. But genuinely nice guy, like you said.
Yeah.
He gets into the hot tub in a swimsuit. She gets naked immediately, and she is fully going after him, and they're making out like crazy in this hot tub. Bro looks so confused.
Yes.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes, please. It's so disgusting watching him. Like just like
And he's like kind of cross-eyed because he's looking down his nose, but he's so confused. I was like, you don't understand
just
what's happening here?
accept it. Accept what is happening right now. Like he's like,
But he's a nice guy.
I guess.
I guess, but
This is he's
confusion isn't the right emotion, I feel like, in that situation.
Oh my god.
okay, but
Maybe like, hey,
Well-
hey, we don't. He's like, what? Am I being kissed right now?
maybe maybe he's a I
I mean, he's
Okay.
a what? Explain it to me, Ryan.
I thought that she was gonna say like, "Whoa, I'm sorry, I'm gay" or something.
Yeah,
Because like
okay.
that's how he was acting.
Yes, that's what it felt like.
Yes.
But instead, he's not. He's just like being super weird. And I'm like,
He's being
bro,
super nice and super conservative.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
he
then
did say he was like, okay, we can take our time, like,
Right.
and that's nice. But it just he looked so stupid. I just don't understand.
I'm like, bro, just take it
It's
easy.
it's because this guy has the hardest job in the movie. This guy has to act like he doesn't want to have sex with Natasha Henstridge.
I don't know how to
that's
act
what
that.
it is. That's what it is. That has to be what it is.
I have to do what?
So Natasha Henstridge is gonna try to seduce you.
Yes.
And you have to act like you don't want it.
But
And
I
they
do
actually-
want it.
Yeah, they actually just told him that.
Which
and then
would
said,
never
"Action."
happen.
And then, so his reaction wasn't to her. He was like, what? I have to, what?
He was looking past her to the director going, I don't know what to do. What I'm supposed to do.
So unrealistic.
And Roger Donaldson's like, look, I've made like 14 films. I don't know what you
don't
should do
know.
either. None of us know what's happening.
Because I really would just like to kiss. He's like, no, I can't, but I can't, I guess.
You're nuts.
The point she messed up, and this just comes to her nativity,
The nativity.
yes, the nativity, like from Christmas. Naivete
Yes, the
of being
naivete.
an alien is if you want to kill this moment, say, I want a baby.
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then there was no way in hell he was.
I think the moment was killed when he started flopping around like a fish.
Yeah.
Well, that was,
I think
yes.
that was when it was like, if I saw that, I'd be like, you know
I
what?
was like, nope, wrong
We're
thing
done.
to say. That's what he said. Nope, we're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's just like, damn it, and just drowns his ass.
Well, it turns out there was another government program
That's
that was sending out, and a different alien was created in a different lab. And it was him, and he was in, that's why in the hot tub. He doesn't know.
he doesn't know.
It's like worse than a virgin. It's just like, what is this?
Two aliens. If they had known what was happening, they would have been all for it.
Oh no, these
He
aliens
didn't get Cinemax like she did, and he didn't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
He was the one
That's
watching
what
the
it
Great
was.
British Bake Off.
are. Uh huh.
Yeah, and
I thought we were
they
going to
weren't-
bake a pie.
It was actually just Martha Stewart. That's why he's like, I need charcuterie board.
We make pie in bathtub. What's happening right now? Oh, all right.
Yeah,
oh,
poor guy.
sausage monster comes out.
I was gonna say now he gets like the sausage tube down his throat.
Yeah, the opposite of the way he
Yes.
thought that night was going. Right, happened to him.
Yep.
He just choked him out in the hot tub and drowned him. Terrible.
And she changes, right?
Yeah.
If you, I'm just,
Yes.
Well, they're always a minute late. They're all like because here the search team shows up and they're always a minute late, and she's changed. Like her face starts to change as she's drowned in him. Is that iconic shot? Probably the most famous shot from the movie is of like her brow and cheekbones like starting to jut out from her skin.
Right.
But the fact that she changes from one back to the other and back to the other, right? It's just scientifically doesn't make a lot of sense.
I
to
wonder
me.
why. Like, because she didn't transform with the other guy. Like, so I
No.
don't understand
No,
why.
now she's learned how to shapeshift.
Right, and if some scientists were able to take DNA from a squirrel and a duck, and meld them together, and then magically this creature would be able to go right now, squirrel, perfect. Oh no, we're coming to some water. Good duck. Need
to be a duck.
That would be pretty awesome, though.
What kind of sound do squirrels make? I feel like right. I think I had one scream at me one time.
They do that?
Oh, they do when.
They do.
Yeah, because when they're on the telephone poles, I just hear screaming, and it's just.
Quack.
Like squirrels started quacking at me, dude. I'd be like, I need to take a nap. I think I'm too tired. The team gets there a minute late, and they're like, she's not here. They find a body in the freaking whirlpool. Like, search the forest. There's like a full freaking forest behind this guy's house.
yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
It's probably in Woodland Hills.
And Michael Madsen and his Glock and his baggy
Yes.
shirt are out there going, I gotta find this chick. No, can't see anything.
Can't see her, so she
Oh, and then at that instant, the duck turns back into a squirrel.
That's right.
And attacks the girl.
Which I don't feel like would ever happen. Like,
Has anyone ever had a squirrel dive bomb them? I'm sure it's happened sometime, but
Yeah.
like the
the flying squirrels.
that's not a flying. That was
it
just
was
a
a
squirrel.
normal squirrel.
Listen,
And it attacked you.
I've been
It literally
alive.
dive bombed her. Yeah.
I've been alive for 45 years. Not once after walking under a squirrel has it decided like today's the day. I'm finally gonna attack this human. No, they run the frick away.
No,
Yeah.
I had a traumatic experience once.
When?
Okay, when I was like 7.
Oh, this is real.
Tell us this, Chuck.
When I was like 7, I was walking home, and my mom used to put out, the corn, the corn stalks for Halloween, right, as decorations.
Yeah.
So the squirrels would always come to our porch, and we had like an elevated porch,
Yeah.
right?
And you went to go eat off something.
I was walking home from school, and I was like, "Oh, the squirrels are at the corn." And as I approached the staircase, one jumped at me.
Really?
And I ran to the backyard, and I was like, squirrels have rabies! Like, I was so freaked out.
It didn't like hook onto you. It just like jumped at you.
It jumped at
I
me.
did not know that.
It pursued me. I started running across the grass, and it ran after me.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard
Same
of that
squirrel
happening.
from this movie.
Charles
That's why.
would have.
You want to know what? That was 95.
Okay, so same squirrel.
Squirrels in 95. They were
No,
on
yeah.
something.
Here's the thing. Charles would have been so happy if he had seen this movie because he was the one that was always on the show talking about how squirrels are evil, that they're just rat prostitutes or whatever. And he would have been like, see, look, evil squirrel attacking the people and
See?
saving the evil
Another
alien.
evil squirrel.
And they ran the hell out of there after the squirrel attacked.
Yeah.
So that's debunked, right? We have seen a squirrel attack.
Okay, one time.
personally-
But I have never seen a baby or young squirrel in my life.
Yeah.
I always thought that was weird.
Never seen a baby squirrel.
I've only seen full-grown squirrels.
Yeah.
I've seen
That's
people
because
like.
squirrels are just government robots. They're just built to spy on us.
I've seen a baby squirrel, so I can debunk that.
Okay. So we've seen baby squirrels, and we've had squirrel attacks.
Syl makes it all the way to the corner store, butt ass naked. It's LA, so fine, I'll let that pass.
Most people do, right?
Gets to finds this woman in her car. She's like, "Oh my god, do you need help?" She jumps in fully nude into this woman's car, and she's like,
What's
"Oh my
the matter?
god, do you need help? What's the matter?
Yeah.
You good, girl?"
Just didn't even.
No. She goes, "Oh, please help me." This woman leaves with her. She starts to. At this point, it cuts back to the trackers at the club because they went back to the club to look
Right.
for her, right?
Oh, because
And they read-
Ben
she reads
Kingsley
the-
says we should go back to the club tonight.
reads his lips
and she reads his lips
across the block.
so she knows that she's going to set a trap at the club.
So she's watching them at the club in a
Yes.
little bit. I'm fast forwarding a little bit here, but basically, she tracks the trackers. Syl does back to their hotel.
And at first, I was like, it really does not make sense to go back to the club, right? But then Ben
Right.
Kingsley gets to stand on a balcony
Yeah.
and just watch people. It's
his favorite.
from the beginning.
It's his favorite.
And they're doing these provocative dances and stuff. I was like, yeah, of course you want to just go
That's
spend some more time
exactly
at
what
the
he
club.
wanted
Should
to do.
definitely go back to the club to watch for Syl.
I don't know, guys.
That's the only reason.
I'm just spitballing here, but I feel like this is the best scenario is go back to the club. You guys in? Club?
Well, actually, I have some books that do at the library. I just wondering.
Drop those off, then we're going to the club.
Yeah, club.
Okay.
Yeah, they were the hunters and they started to get hunted by
They
Syl.
did, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then we after she watches them at the club, she goes back to this woman's house and we find out she's not dead. She has kept her prisoner on the bed and she cuts off one of her own thumb. The girl is like begging for her life and she's like, you don't know yet, but you would hurt me, right? She's trying to beg for her life, but she doesn't let her go. She cuts off one of her own thumbs, puts it in the woman's purse or her purse, and then cuts off her own thumb. Hold on, I got that backwards. Cuts off her own thumb, puts that in the purse, and takes one of the woman's thumbs, takes outside, puts it in the trash.
Yep.
Yes.
And at first, you're like, what the hell is she doing?
Syl cuts off her thumb. It grows back immediately.
Right.
Yes. And then
But,
cuts off the
and then
woman's
starts
thumb.
to get like, tubs of gas and car. And she's basically setting up this elaborate trap. And it's smart for the most part. She's basically going to show up at the club.
Yep.
Okay. I think is it not Alfred Molina? It's Forrest Whitaker.
Yep.
Right. She comes face to face with him. He hesitates way too long.
This is right after the two hobos popped out of the dumpster.
Yes.
Hey, and then they
There's our
slowly,
dumpster.
like a cartoon, like, yeah.
That's where we live. See out here.
Even it was
Sink back down.
it was one hobo
Yeah.
Right.
with
His
a
friend.
following.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Nothing to see back here.
You here for the party?
This is the line for the other club.
And he did not sense that, by the way.
no, he didn't.
Nope. He did
He
not
sensed that.
sense
Or
that.
smell them.
Yeah.
Good point. You should never be able to surprise him.
He gets
Exactly.
surprised and he runs to the back door of
Yeah.
the super crowded club, which
Yeah.
you mentioned, and goes, guys, she's here. And immediately,
They all hear her.
all of them,
Yeah.
only the ones he wants,
Right.
come
I
out the back.
kind of thought initially he wasn't going to tell. Like, I thought he was going to, like
Like, he felt
'cause
sorry for
felt
her?
sorry for her the whole movie. And then he's like, she shows up and he's just like, I'm going to
Yeah.
snitch.
But you're right. More people should have ran out of the club. It should have been the trackers and then like a couple of random people. And when
Who's
they're
here?
in,
Who's here?
And when they're in
Yeah.
the car chase, just look over in the car and be like, why is this guy in the car with us? Well, I just thought we were going somewhere, man. Right?
We're chasing that chick,
We're
right?
chasing
Come
that chick.
on.
Let's go. She's hot.
She was here last night. She took her shirt off.
I'm next. The whole thing is basically a car chase that she has set up so that because she's got the other girl in the car laid down so they can't see her. And what she's going to do is blow up her car, escape at the last second, and the thumb will be the evidence that they destroyed her in the explosion. And
It's pretty smart.
It's a pretty, I mean, for
Yeah.
an alien that's like 4 months old.
Oh yeah, because she had also seen the high voltage
Yeah.
transformer
Right.
in the earlier in the day.
And that did not make that much sense because you could see the high voltage thing from where she was standing on the road.
Yeah.
Not quite that far down. And then
Yeah.
she careens down the road in the
Oh,
car
yeah,
for.
I'm like, great, another forest fire in LA,
Yeah.
Well, the crew knew not to go down there. I think they saw it. Like,
And as soon as the car crashes too, then the helicopter comes and blows it up.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
right.
I went, you had those missiles.
Yeah.
What have you been doing this whole time?
How about you
Yes.
blow it up when it's on the road?
Right away.
I don't know, sometime. Right?
Yeah.
You're the government. You could shake it all off as, some other explanation. You blow
Right.
up somebody's mailbox along with the car and, whatever. But no, they come in like, she ain't blowed up good enough. Pew, pew, pew.
The helicopter guy's like, I could get her right now. Right now, I could shoot her. No, wait. We're going to see if maybe she crashes or something else first. And then we'll just really stick it to her.
That's right.
Yeah.
Blows it up. Forest fire in LA.
I was gonna say it should have just like cut to. Would have been a better movie. Cut to forest fire in L.A. Now we're getting like smoke jumpers coming down,
Yeah.
like Angelina
Yeah.
Jolie.
Yes, let's go.
I kind of wonder why they used the thumb as evidence, right? That
Yeah.
it was her and that she died. But there was a whole body in that car,
Right.
And there's just no remains from
And that
her.
body would be non-alien DNA?
Yeah, and they would have been able to be like, oh, this
Right.
is someone else.
Yeah, tell me at
But
least
they
one of her thumbs
only
is
checked the thumb that she conveniently left in the car.
It was in the door.
That
She
was
must have been trying to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because they do say it like that. It's framed in the sense of like, oh well, all we found was this one thumb in the door because that's what is
Yeah.
left over.
Ben, I was calling Ben Franklin. Ben Kingsley
Yeah.
Fitch comes over. Is like, well, guess that's that, boys. Good work. Go home.
Yes,
back to the
that's
hotel.
Literally what happens.
Okay.
It's exactly how it's.
I can't get
delivered,
more
too.
cut and dry than this. Well, we don't need labs.
We don't need that.
We're fine. She's clearly
No,
dead.
she's clearly dead.
That's
We
her
found the
thumb.
thumb.
You know,
That's her
but
thumb.
there was a whole other body in the passenger seat.
Yeah, right.
But
No,
the
no,
body's
no,
in the
don't matter.
passenger seat. No.
Don't matter.
Weird.
I'm gonna flip my trench coat and walk
They
right
look
out
at
of here.
they look at the thumb and they go like, "Wow, that's a very clean sever right there."
Yeah.
Not as if it were just ripped off in mid car chase, but yeah.
They go back to the club. Laura and Preston dance. They've been kind of flirting through the whole movie.
Really? Have they?
A couple times they hinted at it, right? Like the first time would be like, "Oh, man of action, I like that." And then there was a couple other times. I think even Alfred Molina and Forrest Whitaker hint that they like each other because he's the empath. And
Yeah,
she's
that's
or
yeah.
whatever.
Did you say that?
They start to dance. Frickin' Alfred Molina's butt hurt that they're dancing, right?
Poor guy.
They start to get the empath drunk on Long Island ice. I thought that was funny. He's like, "Is there iced tea in him?" No.
Yeah.
Some of his best lines too.
Yep. What's this
I
called?
like this cup of tea.
I like this cup of tea.
love
I like this cup of tea. He
Long
repeated
Island
that
iced
one.
tea.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Long Island iced tea. What
He,
kind of tea?
Preston's the only one that thinks maybe it's not over because he goes over to the girl at the bar and whips her around. He's like, "Oh, I saw her hair. I thought it was her."
I saw a blonde.
Right.
Ah.
In a club.
It must be her.
Shoulder length hair.
Baby like pulls out his gun and is like, "Ah!"
He's so violent about it.
Dude, and then that girl's boyfriend is just like, all right,
Cool,
excuse
yeah.
me, guy.
Right, fine.
Yeah.
Seriously, like I've been confronted for less.
Mary Helgenberger, Laura's character is kind of annoyed that he won't let it go, and she goes off into the bathroom where we see Syl walk in with shorter brown or black hair. and
Oh,
she's changed her
because she
appearance.
learned how to dye her hair from the commercial that we saw during the poll.
That's
right.
Man,
That's right.
foreshadowing.
Wow.
Genius screenwriting.
If she just watched like a Mr. Clean commercial, she just would have been cleaning everything.
That would have been hilarious.
She would have been bald.
She
And
would have been
bald.
bald. She would have shaved her head. It's so specific. Like, what would have happened if she had just watched other commercials?
Yes.
Right?
That's the alternate cut.
That's the alternate cut.
Kool-Aid. That'd have been a good one.
She would have been smashed through walls.
Hey!
Oh, yeah.
She's decided, though, that she wants Michael Madsen's character, the alien, wants to mate with him. So she takes some of her perfume.
Oh, yeah. She's
Why
had a
didn't she
dream
kill
about
her
him, too.
if she's a sexual competitor? Why doesn't Syl kill her in the bathroom?
She kind of leaves pretty abruptly. Like,
Yeah.
Because maybe she didn't get.
And
the
other
chance
girls
to.
come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe
She does take some of her perfume and use it. And she leaves kind of in a huff. And the empath, Forrest Whitaker's like, "You should follow her. She still wants you to follow her." "Hey, thanks for the solid, buddy. I'm going to go see if you're right." And follows her upstairs.
Yeah.
And Syl gets in the same elevator as him. And he's like,
As the hunter.
like your perfume.
Yeah.
The hunter, the tracker, the main character. Not a clue that it's her. Not a clue.
He's got one thing in mind.
Yes.
Well, they
He's
couldn't
up there.
tell what
Look.
her face looked like from like the pictures
Oh,
or whatever.
right.
So
It's because she had brown hair.
That's it.
yep.
I can't put anything past Preston except for that.
If it were a blonde, it would have been over.
It follows him. She's like, "Thank you for liking my cologne," or whatever. Or whatever. I don't-
Mhm. And he's like, "Oh, it smells."
Normal interaction.
Yeah.
Because he says like, "Oh, it smells familiar,"
Yeah.
or something.
In a very Michael Madison
Yes,
kind of
in
way.
the Michael Madsen kind of way,
He's like,
which
"You
is a
get-
great way, by
He's
the
like,
way.
"You gonna smell me all day, little doggy, or are you gonna bite?" She follows him to Laura's room, but doesn't go in. She just listens through the door like a weirdo. To them, they start getting it on almost immediately. She's up against the door, and she's just like trying to sniff through the pee hole or
Yeah.
the peek hole.
Yeah, the peek
So
hole.
weak.
You know, the peak with a K hole.
Peep.
She's just
That's
like,
much better to
"Oh."
sniff through.
It is. He's just like, "Oh." She's like, "Oh, they're gonna do it." Like, why isn't she kicking the door in? Why isn't she?
I was
don't
waiting.
know.
I was waiting. Like she's
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
she's already like
power
thrust her
fisted-
power fisted
rip
through the
that
girl
chick's
in the
spine out.
bathroom. Man, I was like, oh, Mark Hellenberger's gonna get
Right.
it.
She's gonna rip her spine out, rape Michael Madsen, and this is how.
I guess maybe she was wanting to stay hidden. Like
Yeah.
she didn't want to. So she got the housekeeper.
She was just gonna wait for her to be done and then
Well, she got
slide
the
in her-
keys in an attempt to take it into
Yeah.
the.
slide into his DMs afterwards and be like, "I can do better." I don't know.
I could do better.
She was so jealous.
I've
she
had
didn't
better.
even like know the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
She goes into the next door. Oh, you got something? Go ahead.
well, like you're about to
Yeah.
say, goes in the next door
The next door room.
where now Alfred Molina is.
Well, not yet. He's downstairs trying to pick up these two chicks.
Oh, that's right.
He's like, well,
Yeah, he walks up to
hello,
the-
I'm a Harvard professor.
I'm a Harvard
and-
professor.
To be fair,
where
they
you're-
were giving him eyes the whole time, so I don't understand why they were.
Yeah.
Every time he
acting
looked
like
at them,
Okay,
they were like,
they were giving eyes, and he's like, "Oh, where are your dates?" And they're like, "Oh, right here." And the two guys
And then
walk
she
up,
tries to
and it's like-
introduce them.
yeah.
Yes,
He's like,
yes.
no, I'm trying to walk away.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm walking away.
read the bar.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yep.
I'm trying to not be here anymore. Poor guy's like, I guess I'm just going to go upstairs. And anyway, goes upstairs, opens his door, and now Syl is in Alfred Molina's
Yep.
room.
Yep.
Okay. And she's like, her way to cover it is, I asked for a key because I spotted you in the club and I didn't want to talk to you around all those people. And dress is already coming off. Poor drunk Alfred is, what's a guy to do?
I mean, look, Alfred Molina, who's not that attractive,
No.
and those teeth.
Right.
Oh, those teeth.
I like Alfred Molina.
So do I. I mean, come on, I love Alfred Molina.
But I'm like, this is the guy that finally gets it done.
yes, that's exactly what. That's such a you were about to go for Michael Madsen,
Right.
And it didn't work out.
You're gonna
so you're
settle
like,
for Alfred?
I'm gonna settle for Alfred Molina.
I don't think she cares about looks.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, but
Obviously not.
and
Oh.
he's intoxicated enough and wants
Okay,
it
but
enough.
he's also a moron. You guys are there looking for a superhuman woman that is desperately trying to have sex with somebody, and they kiss for a little bit, and then she yeets his ass across the hotel room onto the bed.
Yep.
And he's like, not once, he's like, that's weird.
Immediately kick those shoes off.
He's kicking he's kicking the loafers off, and he's like, "Oh, this never happens to me."
Yeah.
This woman with the
Yeah.
strength of Andre the Giant just
Yes.
threw you
Yes.
onto the bed.
Well, it's finally a man that actually understands that she's beautiful and isn't trying to pretend like she's not. Like
Right.
the guys the whole entire movie that are just like
But he should have put two and two together. and
he
go,
should have. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. Seems like that could be alien strength at play there.
it was all those Long Island iced teas.
That's what it was.
He didn't even care
Blame it
anymore.
on that.
He was just like, "Yeah, this is happening."
Forrest Whitaker starts to sense the sex.
Ah.
He's like upstairs, drunk himself, going, somebody's doing it right now. Wait, multiple people are doing it right now.
Because then there's the smash cut. Then there's a smash cut to the sex scene with Michael Madsen and Mark Hellenberger.
Right.
Where they're she's zipping his pants down, and then there's that from under the table shot.
Both of this, I want this is important. Both of the sex scenes start at the same time because she's in the other room listening through the wall to them having sex.
Yes.
And then Alfred comes in and they start having sex immediately.
Yes.
But when Forrest Whitaker comes to tell Michael Madsen the lights are off and they're in bed sleeping,
Oh yeah,
That was quick.
and I'm supposed to believe they're still going in the other room?
they also
No way.
snuck in some foreplay in there too.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. Because it does that low angle cut where you very
Right.
clearly get the idea that she's yeah.
So that was obviously also written by the guy in the basement.
There's no way in hell.
Stand up.
They actually improvised their sex scene.
Oh really?
Yes, Mark Hellenberger and Michael Madsen improvised their sex scene apparently.
They did. And on the other side of that wall, Alfred Molina, so apparently Natasha Henstridge told Alfred that she was very, very nervous because she has never filmed a sex scene before. And Alfred said, well, neither have I, because he had only done a movie a year prior where he played a gay guy and had done a sex scene with a guy.
Yeah.
And so technically it was his first one too. And so the two of them, they kind of bonded over the fact that, and got through it together. But yeah, two very different scenarios where these two were like, we'll just improvise it. We're totally comfortable doing this.
Yep.
And then the other two who were not comfortable at all shooting this scene in the other room.
I almost feel like that plays too because
Yeah.
it
It was awkward.
I'm uncomfortable watching Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
And Natasha.
It was super awkward.
Yeah.
Super duper awkward. But the timing doesn't make they have been asleep. No. Forrest Whitaker comes over and not trying to cast shade on Alfred Molina, but I'm like, bro, you got about 30 seconds to get over to that room before this is all over.
Oh.
Okay?
And he's worried about getting dressed.
He's worried. He comes up. He's like, all right. He's like, it's her. I know it's her. They're in there having sex right now. It's her. And Alfred, it's probably been a long time for him, I'm guessing. And so when Michael Madsen's like, all right, I'll get dressed. I'm like, you don't got time to get dressed. You got about 30 seconds, man. Get over there right now.
Hey, he clearly lasted longer than him.
Well, based on the way they would have you believe, right? But what happens in the room is Alfred finishes.
Yeah.
You were laughing at his face, and I thought that was hilarious.
Stupid.
It is. It's a goofy face.
Yeah.
It was goofy.
It took me a couple seconds. Like, oh no, that was it. That was it. That was him being done.
Okay,
that was him
he's
being
done.
done. Okay.
And then he
That
says,
was part of the uncomfortableness.
my second favorite line of the entire movie. I enjoyed that immensely.
Yes.
I'm like, don't, dude, don't.
And then her face of disgust immediately after she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
She's like,
Darn it, you're diabetic too, aren't you?
I feel it. I'm pregnant.
Right, and her back starts
spine-
her spine
Yeah.
starts popping out with the sausage things a little
Right.
bit. She's like, "Oh, do you feel it? New life."
Do you feel it?
And he's like, "Huh?"
and he thinks that she's just like naive and dumb. He's like, oh, I don't think
my
that's how
sweet
quickly.
girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, he says that's not how
Yeah.
quickly it works.
Yeah.
she kills him as the door is getting kicked in. Literally, door is kicked in. Boom, she flies out the wall next
She
to the door
literally uses his face as like a
Right.
like a jumping off point.
to go run. I'm like,
Yeah, it could have been farce timing.
Yeah.
right.
Right? Like, what's the one with Nathan Lane starred
Yes.
in? where it's
Oh,
like
yes.
all the timing in one door, out one
Yes.
door, all that sort of stuff.
Dude. And all I said was like, I told you shouldn't have gotten dressed because that time that he took to get dressed and they missed it by a second.
Yep.
Michael Madsen's fault again.
What are you supposed to do? Just hunt an
Grab your Glock. You wouldn't have had to hunt her. You could have got her before she finished or before Alfred finished, really.
You're gonna go hunt an alien naked?
The time it took him to get dressed
on.
Well,
is
he had pants on. Yeah, when he got up,
Because you
put
got
them
you
on.
got
that's
the
right.
butt shot.
Yes, there's
right.
the classic butt shot into the pants on. That's right. I forgot
so in the
about that.
time it took you to go put your shirt on and get dressed, Alfred finishes. You could have just gone in there, popped her with your Glock, dunzo.
How convenient.
Or you scare her away, she jumps through the wall anyway, and maybe Alfred's dead, but there ain't no baby.
I mean, but hey, we need a baby.
I don't know.
We need a baby for this
Funny
finale.
thing happened on the way to the forum.
That's what it was.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, time to grab the big guns. They literally go and grab big guns. Big
Finally.
flamethrowers. Yeah.
After this whole movie, this whole alien hunt, it's like, oh, by the way, we had these flamethrowers the whole time.
Right.
Great.
Hunt
Thank
him.
you.
They're hunting her down. They find a dead body down in the maintenance. Like, she went this way. You think?
Yeah.
Experts. She had to have gone through the sewer. There's nowhere else for her to go. This is the only way.
Yeah. There's a hole here. Yeah. She probably went this way.
That's right.
Yeah.
They freaking get down into the sewer. Which way did she go, Dan? I don't know, man. And Dan starts freaking out, right? I can't
Because there wasn't an obvious way that she went.
tell. Right? There's three. I don't know. I think she went this way. And Dan's like, well, you're coming freaking with me this way.
Yeah.
Fitch is like, no, you're coming this way. You idiot. We're splitting up. Let's separate.
Yeah. And Fitz too is just like, this is why I hired you.
Yes.
You're supposed to smell people.
Ridiculous. And Fitch goes down another walkway and he sees some bubbles in the water. Shoot the bubbles.
Just light it up.
Just light it up, buddy. He
With
instead
the
of
flamethrower.
shooting the bubbles. Is that all he had? I thought some of them were guns.
No,
too.
they had flamethrowers. That was
Just
it.
flamethrowers. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the same kid with
I was
the slime
kinda-
coke going.
I was kind of waiting for him to be like with the flamethrower at the water.
At the
just
water.
to be like, oh yeah, that worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot fire at water. It works.
But no, Fitch has kind of an unceremonious end here
Yeah.
and she jumps out of the water. Full alien form now.
Well, I was going to say, and now Natasha's no longer in the movie.
no,
Natasha's last scene is
it's
riding,
alive. I'm
is-
pregnant or whatever.
Yeah, is riding off of Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
And that's
she's out
it.
of the
Now
movie.
she's out of the movie.
The thing is CGI from here on out.
Yeah, CGI and practical effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that. Anyway, we're almost there. We're almost so close to the finish line.
So Fitch dies.
Fitch dies. She gets down in this cave. There's like a crack through the wall, and they go into this like cave
Oh,
area.
yeah. They go through the.
And she starts to give birth.
You know those caves underneath the hotel.
Well,
Lots of them.
It's the caves under LA. It's where the volcano comes
That's
from.
they should have
Yes.
just waited her out. They would have been fried hockey boogie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been it.
She literally goes into it and they're like, oh, oil.
Yeah.
And it's like some oil reserve that's under the city.
Yeah.
Some untapped oil cavern. Okay.
That's right.
Sure.
Somebody call the Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, exactly.
Got gold up in that
Some
hill.
black gold. Yeah.
She falls in it too. Totally clean.
Totally fine. She
No,
starts
she's
to-
not dark or gross or anything.
just to shoot this baby out. This is a practical
This is a
alien
practical
suit.
alien suit.
Looks fantastic. The clear skin on the mouth and she's screaming. All of this designed by Geiger.
H.R. Geiger.
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy that did the Xenomorphs and Aliens
Yes, he
designed this
did.
alien. And he's great at that.
He is.
The nipples on this thing are very prominent.
The nipples on
swollen.
this thing.
Yes.
Dude, the nipples on this thing are deadly.
Deadly.
As
Deadly
we find out.
nipple ropes shoot out of her boobies.
Yes.
Am I saying something that's not true?
No,
Nope.
They're boob tentacles.
It's just ridiculous.
That's
Ridiculous.
exactly what they are.
She shoots out this baby. Okay. The first thing I thought of was like, man, single mother alien doesn't even have a job. What is she gonna do?
Alone in LA.
Alone in LA. Now she's got this kid.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy,
You
Gene.
hear
That is
this
not the
story a
first thing I
1,000
thought.
times.
That is the start of a Billy Idol song right there.
Anyway, if she, this is the part where it dawned on me. The three people that are left, it's Laura and Forrest Whitaker and Michael Madsen.
Yes.
And they come through the crevasse, and he's like, I'm going to go through that way and see if I can't flush her out. If she comes back this way, light her up. Light her up. The empath and the molecular biologist.
Yeah.
Okay, just so we're clear.
Yeah. They gave
Why-
the empath a flamethrower.
Both of them a flamethrower. Why is the only one who can handle a violent situation? There's only one of those guys on this team.
Yeah.
And you're going to leave it to these two scientists to light up this alien if it comes through here. This super fast, super powerful. All right, I'm just making sure
Yes.
we have the plan.
That's exactly what the plan is.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
As they're in there and he's looking for it, Forrest Whitaker hears something going on above him and climbs up this ridge and sees a baby who we had just seen eat a rat with a spear tongue.
Yes.
Okay. And it's this baby covered in afterbirth. And he's like, oh, it's
What's a toddler, really?
yeah.
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 At this point, it's a toddler.
They grow very quickly. He gets up there, gun right in this thing's face, and he goes, "Oh, it's okay." It's like, who do you think that baby is?
Yeah.
You think that's a baby that just fell down here,
No.
that swam up the river underneath the city?
But he has high hopes. It's okay. No one's going to hurt
Oh, good for you. Shoot this thing in the face.
you. Well, that's what happens when you give a flamethrower to an empath.
He couldn't sense.
Oh, yeah.
That
couldn't
was it.
sense
Yeah, thank
He
you.
probably sensed it, but he wanted to overcome it
Yeah.
because
Baby-
he felt bad for it, probably.
Baby shoots his tongue out at him, knocks him back. He's now hanging from the ledge. And this thing, I thought that was a freaky shot when his one arm starts to get
Yeah.
longer and
Yeah.
all this stuff. And
Yeah.
like, it was weird. And then it comes out in this like deformed baby lizard looking thing.
Yes.
And then they finally torch this thing.
Yeah.
Danny does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like,
Yeah.
you could have done it. It would have been so much easier
Yeah.
than what had happened.
Wait, is that before he falls?
That's,
Yeah.
That's before he falls.
He torches
He's
the
like,
baby.
He's
torches
still
the
hanging
baby.
on, and then he goes like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And he like jams the flamethrower
Yeah.
into the baby's gut and
Right.
flips it
Flips
over.
it over
Yeah.
into the oil.
Flips
And it
into
still
the oil
burns because
pit.
it's oil.
And it's burning.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now the baby's burning, the oil's burning, and now the mama is pissed.
Yes.
Nipple
Bad.
choking Mike Madsen
Yes.
in the cave.
Yes.
Okay. Just shoots her nipple tentacles down
Through the crevasse.
through the crevasse around his neck, and he's getting choked out.
He
and
chops him off.
Starts to chop off her nipples, her nipple ropes.
And then,
These are real sentences.
Yeah.
and then Dr. Laura falls down and she gets her foot caught in
right.
something. So
right.
now Danny's hanging by one arm.
Right.
The oil's on fire.
Preston's covered in breast milk.
Preston's covered in breast milk. Dr. Laura's stuck yelling, Preston,
Right.
Danny's falling.
This penis monster is still alive.
Penis monster is still alive. Yep.
Okay, to hunt penis again
Yeah.
if she gets out of here. That's what she is. She's
Now
a
that she
penis
had
monster.
Now that
a-
she had a boy, it's kind of the boy's job to impregnate tons of different women so that it'll spread.
Not anymore.
So it's well,
So
yeah.
she would have to just go.
She'd have to
hunt,
do it again.
Hunt more wiener. But Danny.
It's a type of goblin, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those.
Well, he finally is able to shoot her. That's what happens. The Glock he's been carrying around this whole time, he finally gets to utilize it. She drops down and he finally goes boo, 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 boo
Yeah.
as it rushes at him.
Classic. Empty the entire mag.
The entire mag. She falls into the oil, and you're like, this chick's dead.
That's done.
And now they're trying to help Danny up off this ledge, and she leaps out of the flames.
But wait,
Yeah.
there's more.
Grabs onto Danny, and they're struggling against her. And this is where we get Michael Madsen supposed to be his Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh my gosh.
Last line of the
Because he
movie.
does. It's even a grenade launcher, too.
And it's the music stops, everything stops, zoom in. Like it does all the indicators to let you know this is the line.
This is going to be it. Here
This
it
is gonna
comes.
be it.
Everyone get ready. Buckle up. Buckle up.
And excuse my language. He goes, "Let him go, mother."
That's it.
That's the line.
it.
That was probably a better read, too.
It.
Shoots her, face fully bisects.
Yep.
Boom.
Boom.
Dead.
falls into the oil, the flaming oil.
Man.
Yep. They pull Danny up. He says, what? Oh, I thought, it's going to be your... Looks like you almost had your last Long Island iced tea, Danny.
That's right, Dan.
Yeah, Dan.
And then their attempt to shoehorn a message into this movie, Laura goes, I wonder which half was the predatory half, the human or the alien. And I was like, is that their idea of shoehorning a message into this?
Yeah, and then he said the dead half, and I'm like,
Yeah.
both halves are dead.
Look.
That's the end of the movie.
Oh, you missed
The rats. I forgot.
But wait.
the rats.
The rat eats
the boob tentacle.
the boob tentacle. The rat drags the boob tentacle and
Yes.
turns into a super rat.
Yes.
And then tongue punches another rat.
I thought that looked really cool.
Setting
did
up
look
like
cool.
the species too.
Huge
Stand up.
rat.
Except it has nothing to do with species 2, just
Nope.
FYI.
Yeah,
Oh, even
I was
better.
looking at the second one. I was like,
Great.
I don't understand how that connects. But
It doesn't, because
Yeah.
species 2 is about astronauts that actually get, specied.
Oh, is it?
And they do
Oh,
the
like
T2
aliens?
treatment because
Oh,
Natasha
geez.
Henstridge is a good person in species 2.
She's good in species too?
They create another Natasha Henstridge, and her name is Eve.
I kind of love that.
And she's like the hero of the movie. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's time to see, before we give out some awards, if a certain actor, maybe if we had just recast one part in this movie, it would have been a legendary all-time movie.
Oh,
Is there somebody whose mere presence when they come on the screen makes you want to go, oh, I'm in for this.
oh yes.
I'm in for this.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That man is...
Rainn Wilson.
Penis monsters are not a joke, Jim. Hundreds of guys are killed every year in clubs in LA. Fact. Girls. I'm not even going to say it. All right. Just have freaking Dwight in this movie.
Yeah,
It'd be crazy.
perfect.
It would be.
yeah,
Where could we stick Arnold? Because I feel like if we put him in Michael Madsen's part, you'd have to add more lines.
Oh, or
Right.
make a better end one.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
That's where I would have
Yeah. You
picked
would've just-
only
Yeah.
because the end line.
You would
Yeah.
have had to rewrite the entire screenplay.
You would have had
If-
to.
yeah.
But if
right.
Schwarzenegger was Preston Lennox, yeah, that would have been awesome.
That's right.
That would have
Yeah.
been awesome.
Go back to your planet or something, like when he fires that grenade
Yeah,
launcher
yeah.
at the end, right?
And then
I'll
when he
kill
says
you.
more docile and controllable, huh?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about that.
Yeah.
That was your favorite line.
It was my favorite line.
When Michael Madsen, when they discover Reggie's body, he turns to Forrest or to Finch and goes, "More docile and controllable, huh?" And what did you say?
He ate that up. Yeah.
So if it was
feminist.
Arnold, they'd be like, "Oh, this is more docile and controllable because it's a girl." Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Look at this; it could leap all the way across this room. Let's hunt her down. Not what is it? Search and destroy. Ah!
Tongue punch.
Look at this. She tongue punched the back of his head. No more baby games. You follow me now.
What's the last line though? What's the
Oh,
line?
what's what I'm
It's
saying?
got to be something. It's better than
Better
M or
than-
Effer.
Anything's better than that line.
Anything's better than that. You could take one from Predator. You one ugly mother. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
that one.
It's time to die. Oil else.
I like the Dolph Lundgren alien line in Come in Peace, right? Mm-hmm. And you go in pieces.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. Mhm.
Great.
Come in peace and you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Something having to either do with an alien pun of some kind, right? Or welcome to Earth. Steal a little bit from Independence Day.
You've been trying all movie, and now you're effed. You say that all right?
You're not going to get my sausage. And honestly, if she was looking for the peak human specimen, she would have just been chasing Arnold around the
movie.
entire
Yeah.
movie.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm trying to touch it. Stop it. I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to kiss you in this bathtub.
That would be.
This is why I'm the hunter. They come to me.
That's right. They come to me. We don't need to do anything. Got a stogie. We don't need to do anything. She come here because I'm a stud. Okay. It'd be awesome, man. Thomas Staggs playing along says, I would love to see Arnold take the role of Dan. Something about him trying to be a sensitive empath would be hilarious. Listen, I'm telling you, Preston, she's scared. She's scared and horny. Shoot her now. Look, she's in there right now and they're doing it. They're doing it now. Get in there, get your pants on. That would be freaking hysterical. We got Matt Mulholland playing along, and he says, clearly he'd be Preston since she's looking for a perfect specimen to breed with. Thank you. That's exact. Matt, we're on the same page, buddy. Love that. Josh Eglin playing along and says, as much as I love Michael Madsen, I'd rather Arnold just reprise his role as Dutch and watch him correctly hunt down another predator. The team needed someone who could actually do their job. Thank you. Right? They would have found the freaking alien vag in the train. He would have been like, if it breeds, we can kill it.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
there it is.
Man. There
Right?
it is right there. Should have just been a predator. And since H.R. Geiger did it, this could have actually bridged the gap between Alien and Predator.
It would have been perfect.
Yes.
And then Arnold is Syl is what Leo Cittadini, I think that's how you say it. We'll just call him Leo. Leo, I'm sorry I butchered your last name. He says, make him Syl. Don't go, please. I want a baby. What if it was Arnold trying to find chicks
Look.
throughout LA?
That's what I would have said. Put Arnold as Syl.
I need to put the baby in you now.
Just walking around naked. Arnold just walking around
Like in
naked in LA.
Terminator.
Yes.
They'd get the waitress going, "Whoa," like one of my favorite shots from T2 all the time. I love that one. Would have been great. And then let's see who else playing along with us here. We got Jason Ryan, and he says, look, if you think I think if you put Arnold as Preston Lennox instead of Michael Madsen, you instantly get a better movie. He didn't feel like the right man to play the mercenary role, and I couldn't imagine Arnie doing anything else in the film. No, Jason, I think you're absolutely right, dude. And then finally, Estevan Alonso says, while there are a great many choices, having Arnold replace Forrest Whitaker as Dan is the way to go. I know other may say that he should have been Madsen's character or replace Natasha. He called that one. But imagine Arnold being an empath in his reactions to feeling the things that Forrest did. While he may not nail the facials like Forrest, he can certainly nail the vocal cues and make this movie worth watching.
And if he'd made his noise whenever he was sensing something.
Hold on. Stop it. I have to feel this car. This car is out of gas. She walked this way. Great. But hilarious. All right. What do you guys say we give this movie some awards? We'll start with the most prestigious one we have to give out. It's the Will Patton Award for Intensity.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
What are you doing with a gun in space?
What are you doing with a green cloud in space?
What are you doing with an alien in a jar? This movie needed Will Patton.
Oh,
in it, dude.
yes.
If Will Patton had been Ben Kingsley's part, I think it would have been so much better.
Yeah. Anything would have been better than Ben Kingsley.
All right. So the Will Patton Award is the award we give out to who, even though they were in Species, like, I'm giving this everything I have to this role. And we'll start with Estevan, who says, look, it's down here. He says, this goes without saying, Forrest Whitaker gets this award. Homie is always switched on and brings it no matter what. He deserved more screen time than what he was given. And damn it, he deserved to be banging Marge. Oh, he's talking about Laura?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. He's talking the actress's name. For a second, I was like, who's Marge in this movie? All right, Jenna, who is your Will Patton nominee?
Natasha Henstridge.
Natasha.
I don't think she's a very good actor, but I do. But like that one
doesn't matter for this
no,
award.
right? And the hot tub scene, right, where like you said, where her brow is like changing, she's just holding him under the water.
Yeah, that was great.
Like I think she was really intense, and I think she.
Her first movie ever.
Yeah.
She was just a model.
Yeah, I had to look that up because it said introducing Natasha. Yeah.
She had been a model, and then they just were like, you are going to be in this movie. So she had never acted before. I mean, it suited her. Well, we'll get to that, but we'll see if she ends up winning here. We got Jason Ryan, and he says Ben Kingsley as Fitch, easily the most intense in the movie. For me, straight from the opening with trying to kill Syl to leading the group and nearly killing two of them because he had to follow protocol. I don't think there was a more intense performance in the movie. Wow, Jason Ryan.
Wow.
Was Ben Kingsley.
I wonder what movie he
And
was.
so we got 3 different votes
Iron Man.
right
Yeah,
off
right.
the gate.
Iron Man 3.
You'll never see me coming. The fake Mandarin. I was so pissed at first when I saw that, but then upon rewatches, I actually love Iron Man 3. And his scene as Trevor in bed with the girls is so good. Remember, so Ben Kingsley, the guy that played Fitch, was in Iron Man 3 pretending to be the Mandarin.
He was like the mafia boss or whatever.
He was pretending to be the Mandarin, remember? And then Iron Man found him in bed with he's like, my name's Trevor. And he's like, this British guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Was that? Same dude.
Yeah.
All right. So we got 3 votes for 3 different people as we head over to Brian.
These awards are going to be tough for me across the board.
It's a tough movie for him.
Yep. No one was particularly intense or no one was amazing. No one was awful.
Right.
It was all kind of right in the middle. I'm going to go with Forrest Whitaker, though.
Okay.
And though his character, how it was written, doesn't make a lot of sense, he took that and he portrayed it well.
Yes.
He did a good job. He's some great acting parts in there for him.
Yes.
And out of everyone to choose, which is very hard to pick one, I'm gonna say Forrest.
All right, fair enough. We've got Leo here, and he says Forrest Whitaker as Dan. That's the 3rd vote for him. I felt like he was the only one attempting to show actual emotions in this movie. Ryan, how do you feel?
Well, a lot of love for Forrest Whitaker because it is true. When it came to performance, I think he kind of outshined everybody in the movie. But I'm going with Natasha Henstridge.
Really?
Yes, because
shocker, you love her.
Okay, she's terrible as an actress.
Yep.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
Her as Syl, she's a good villain.
Yep.
And yes, the way that she sells everything of kind of like this alien that I don't really know I'm an alien. Like, she has a lot of scenes where she's walking around and glancing at things.
Yes.
And she has the eyes for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She has the presence. She has the physical presence for what this movie needs. And just to top it all off, like, she had to sell actually enjoying having sex with Alfred Molina.
All right, that might be your best criteria. Then you saved
She's
it
a
for
good
the
actress.
last.
Yeah.
Buried the lead there, guy. Josh Eglin says, I struggled with this one. The acting across the board, terrible in this movie. But I reckon I'll give it to Forrest Whitaker. Is he good in this? No, absolutely not. But he had more than one facial expression throughout the movie, which is more than I can say for the rest of the cast. So it's 4-2 right now. And I'm actually going Natasha Henstridge to make it a 4-3 match because, look, I think Forrest Whitaker did a great job. It was ridiculous, but he did it hard, right?
Yeah, he did.
But I just thought for pure intensity, maybe it's the same thing, the scene in the whirlpool. There's other moments in there too. I thought she, as someone who's never done a movie before and had to sell, and yes, the dialogue was tailor-made for a non-actress. Yes, I am okay, and things like that. But that's how she's supposed to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And all the physicality, all that other stuff, not easy to do. And she did it. And Forrest Whitaker was great. That's not a bad vote, but that's who I personally am going with here.
When she grabs the dude to make out with him, the disgusting guy at the beginning.
She goes, okay.
And she goes, okay. And just like, whoosh, like, man, she.
It was good. Matt Mulholland says, Ben Kingsley. This guy managed a tearful response. Oh, he like the one bit of work he put in, the single tear.
Single tear. That's why I said he thought about pollution.
That was a fake tear.
You think so?
Absolutely.
That was a CGI tear?
100%.
No.
How
Well,
dare you?
I don't think
No,
CGI. I
look,
think they
look.
Ben Kingsley is a master.
Yes, he is a master. Ben Kingsley is absolutely a master.
And then,
in this movie, no.
They cut back to him. He's got like Vaseline under his eyes. Like the whole thing is all.
You know how you can tell when it's a fake tear?
How?
Because it comes out of the middle of the eye.
that's true.
Oh, jeez.
And
Also, it was like a perfect tear. Like
yes. So what they do is they put an eye drop in the actor's eye.
You Beastmastered him?
What?
Beastmaster. You ever see Beastmaster? The actor,
No.
literally, there's a scene where he cuts to him and he's supposed to be crying. He wasn't crying that take before.
Yeah.
Cuts back to him and he's got tears rolling out, but the tears looked like they started right here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't put the eye drops in till
Yeah.
right here. There's like no tear line from the eye to there. And I'm like, bro, they just took 2 droppers on his face.
Yep.
He's like, I'm crying.
I think they did the same to like Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. Because there's a scene where he's just like weeping and it's like, and it's like Tom Cruise doesn't cry like that.
Not at all. He goes, you can see when they start to gas her, even before the tear rolls down, he's always got that intense look in his face in every scene. So unless this last person also went Natasha Henstridge, it's going to be Forrest Whitaker. And so we'll see here. We've got Thomas Staggs, who went Michael Madsen.
Oh.
He's always nothing but intensity. From his first introduction, you knew he was someone you should not piss off. Even Syl was scared of and a little turned on by him. And so that means that Forrest Whitaker is going to win the Will Patton Award for intensity. Congrats, Forrest. He did play that dumb part really hard.
He did. Yeah.
Really, really hard.
We tried, Natasha.
That's all right. It was
All
close.
right.
She'll probably get trash canned again. We'll see.
No.
I hope not. I don't think she deserves it in this movie, but we'll see. Speaking of that, we're going to move on to our trash can full of dirt, the Steven Seagal special. It's for the actor who gave the worst performance in the movie.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
Oh, okay, Steve.
Cut it short.
All right, so we got Thomas Staggs kicking us off, and he goes, Alfred Molina. While I love the actor, in this movie he felt as useful as Sigourney Weaver repeating the computer in Galaxy Quest. He has one job. It's stupid, but he did it. He served one purpose in this movie and only succeeded in disappointing Syl and everyone who watched this movie. Hot shots fired from Thomas Staggs and Alfred Molina. All right, who was your trash can?
I might make people mad with this one, but I'm gonna say Ben Kingsley.
Wow! Academy Award winner Ben
I know,
Kingsley.
and I've seen him like in Iron Man 3. He's a great, he's a great actor. But this movie just was garbage. He made me mad.
Oh, I wish he'd one day go and make Gandhi 2, like in Weird Al's movie UHF. You know what I'm talking about? You ever see the trailer for Gandhi 2? Oh. He's back, and this time he's pissed.
What is that?
Gandhi's taking out the trash.
UHF.
In UHF, there's a trailer for Gandhi 2, and they turned it into like an 80s action movie.
That's awesome.
I'll take steak, medium rare. He says, like he's at a restaurant, and they it's so good. I'm like, one day, can they just get, because it didn't matter how old he is. They aged him up when he played Gandhi.
Oh, yeah.
He was still really young.
Yeah, he was.
But he still played super old. Mm-hmm. Even if Ben Kingsley's old, they just make him look like Gandhi again for Gandhi 2.
Yeah.
If I had $5 million, that's the movie that I would make. I would call Ben Kingsley and I would say, would you do Gandhi 2, please, for the love of God? And if he says no, we're not making the movie without him, because it's the only way it would work.
I don't think you're going to get that movie made.
No?
I just don't see it happening.
Bro.
Only because you don't have the money.
Right, but how much money would it take, Ben?
How much?
There's a
Ben?
number, Ben.
Ben. But if you say Ben, I got 5.
I got 5.
I got
Total.
5. I got 5 on it.
Total. We can finance the rest. If we get Ben attached and $5 million down, we can find financiers for the rest of it.
Yeah. By pitching it as like Ben Kingsley is back.
As Gandhi, but this time
Gandhi
he's
returns.
taking out the trash.
Gandhi returns.
Okay, he's killing drug dealers and fighting ninjas. Okay.
It would be pretty awesome.
All right, let's get on with this. Matt Mulholland says, sorry, the trash can is Forrest Whitaker.
Wow.
Apparently, the definition of empath is guy who states the obvious. Car ran, I guess. She walked. Guy dead by her hand. She was here. Good job, dude. They could have just put an arrow on a garbage can and used that useless character. Wow. Ooh. All right, Brian, who's your trash can?
All right, so I thought about switching it. You're going to know who it is right away because of comments that are valid, right? Natasha having intercourse with Alfred, like sells it good enough, right? Finding out that she has a baby inside her, believable. And then James even said she doesn't deserve it. But then I went, well, you know what? I'm still going to stick with it because everybody could get it. Everybody could. All the characters in the whole movie could get this. But the thing is, out of that character is what I wanted more from the most.
Yeah.
So, and I get, she was a model. It's one of her first jobs. I thought you were sneaking up on me. I thought she was she's a model, one of her first jobs. So yes, as a newbie, as an actor, she did pretty good. But I think out of all the characters, I wanted more from her.
You're just going with Natasha Henstridge for the trash can, huh?
Yeah. You had good points,
No, I agree in what you're saying is that it is tailor made and more or less maybe any model could have probably just done it.
I literally thought you were sneaking up on me because I went
Put him to sleep.
Natasha.
Go to sleep.
Yeah. Put me in a chokehold.
Like Wayne Brady and Chappelle's show. He's like, shh. No. So that's 4 votes for 4 different people, I'm pretty sure, right?
So far.
That's what I said. Anybody could get it. So
Anybody still could get it.
Anybody's ball game.
Yeah, Josh Eglin says, surprise, surprise, Natasha Henstridge can't act. I know why she was cast in the movie.
Come on.
You know why she was cast in this movie.
Yeah.
Everyone knows why. She was a walking birthday suit. The only good things she brought to the role are sagging down to her knees now. Wow, Josh.
Wow.
Docile and controllable. Okay. I appreciate you. That's 2. So you have a teammate here, Brian.
that's good.
You have a teammate.
Standing strong with one person
Standing
next
strong
to me.
with old man Eglin. Ryan, who's your trash can?
Well, I'll tell you.
I would hope you'll tell me.
Sir Ben Kingsley is a great, great actor. Won an Oscar for Gandhi. I quote his part from Lucky Number 11 a lot because he was great in Lucky Number 11.
Yeah.
He has a great character in Sexy Beast. Every time Ben Kingsley shows up in a movie, I'm like, yes, freaking Sir Ben Kingsley is here.
Yeah.
Anything, right? Except for freaking Species. His performance in this film sucks so much. He does the scene that, like I said, it's not an organic scene where he's like, oh, I can't let them out. I can't let them out. It's protocol. I can't let them out. I can't let them out.
And
It's
this
protocol.
wasn't his first movie, right?
No.
No.
he's done tons
He
of
was an
movies.
Oscar winner by this movie. He won an Oscar in 1982 for Gandhi.
Right.
This was 95. Like his and everything, and like even at the car crash scene, he's like, "Oh well, everyone, that's it. I guess I guess we should just all go home.
Yeah.
What did we learn? I don't know. Let's just get some drinks."
So that means we got 2 for Ben Kingsley and 2 for Natasha Henstridge right now, right? And we got Leo here who comes in and says, between this and Ghost of Mars, I wanted to give it to Natasha, but I ultimately went with Michael Madsen. Normally, I'm happy to see him on screen, but he seemed to be sleepwalking his way through this one.
Is that a 3-way tie then?
That's 2 votes for Mike Madsen, right?
Yeah, so 3-way tie.
Okay, so 3-way tie.
is it 2 for Mike Madsen?
I thought it was. We're gonna say it is.
There was one that wasn't Natasha.
Yeah. All right. Well, look, I'm jumping on the Ben Kingsley train. I thought this was a terrible part for him.
Awful
And you know I wasn't going to give it to Natasha. I thought, for considering her experience here, she did a great job. And I'm not talking about her birthday suit. I'm just in general. Great job. They could have hired a lot of different actresses to walk around with their clothes off, right? She's not the only one that would have been attractive enough to play that part. But she killed it, I thought, in this, literally, as she was killing dudes throughout the entire thing. So we are now going to, who we at? This is still Leo. So yeah, we got Jason Ryan here, and he goes, I struggled picking one person for this, but I'm planting my flag on Forrest Whitaker.
That's 2 for
That's
Whitaker.
2 for Whitaker now.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a person play a worse psychic and look on his face when he would use his ability. I'm sure he was going to cry. I wasn't sure if he was going to cry or puke, which this means it's 3. Ben Kingsley has the most votes, so this last one's got to be for somebody else, or it's taken away.
Or it's a tie.
Did you look like
Yeah,
you were
so
gonna say
I don't think there was 2 for Michael Madsen. I think
Okay.
the second one was
Whitaker.
for Whitaker.
All right, that's fine. So we got 2 for Whitaker, 2 for Natasha Henstridge, 3 for Kingsley is where we're at right now.
I think that's where we're at, yeah.
Okay. Coming into this final vote from Esteban, and he says, for such a crappy movie, there's no one from the main cast that phoned it in. Sure, there was some less than stellar performances, nothing worthy of the Seagal Award. Anthony Guierta as Robbie is certainly worthy of this award, as all he did was angry act and not even that much. So an
Man.
off-the-board vote
Another
gives
off-the-board vote.
the win to Ben Kingsley, who's going to win. I can't believe Ben Kingsley is taking home a trash can full of dirt award.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd see the day.
At least he didn't get tongue punched.
That's right. That's right. Just got his jaw ripped off or something, didn't he?
Schindler's List. Ben Kingsley and Schindler's List.
I know.
Come on.
I know, man.
Amazing.
Good stuff.
What is this movie?
All right. The next award we got to give out is the Unsung Hero Award. This is for someone with a smaller role, little bit of screen time, but really made the movie better for their performance. Let's get it.
You know, every place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right? Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
All right. Esteban's going to kick us off here, and he says there's one character whose acting and backstory could be the stuff of that good TV dramedy show that they dream of. Imagine a weekly series following Esther Scott each week as new passengers board her train like the Love Boat. Oh, come on, man. We came to this conclusion after Liz, and she was the only character we wanted more of. Well, at least of those characters who kept their clothes on. Wow.
That's the train conductor, right?
That's the train conductor. Unbelievable voting from Mr. Alonzo so far. I love it. Jenna, who was your unsung hero?
Michelle Williams as young Syl.
Who I didn't even realize was her until after the fact.
No, she did a great job. She just like fit the character really well, and then the transformation from her as her young self into the older self, I think it was like pretty seamless.
All right, so that's a vote for Michelle Williams and one for the train conductor. And here we got Jason Ryan who goes, I'll go with Michelle Williams for young Syl for the amount of screen time she got. I think she played the role really well. Brian, who you got, man?
Michelle Williams is a great choice.
Yeah, but you like the train conductor?
The train conductor was very sweet lady. Saved her some money.
Yeah.
I did recognize her right away. I was like, who is that? But I had to look up who she was.
Right.
Recognize her most from Blue Valentine.
Yes.
Don't love that movie.
No.
But my unsung hero, very small screen time, wish it had more screen time, would be boobies.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going with Natasha's boobies.
Okay.
Because I can.
Wow. Okie dokie.
You're right. She should have been naked more.
Yeah, that's what you watch this movie and you're like, man, what did we get? 4 or 5 scenes?
4 or 5 scenes. There
was
should have been.
ridiculous.
Not on TNT?
Right, 'cause that's not enough.
If they really committed, they should have done a full frontal.
Oh, well, kind of when she came out of the cocoon. Barely.
Barely. But is that even Natasha coming out of the cocoon?
I have
That's
no
some
idea. It's probably some stunt woman. 'cause you
Stunt
can't
woman.
drop Natasha
model.
on her head.
No.
In a train
no,
car.
That was absolutely some stunt woman who was
So
just.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna grease you
Yeah,
up with
yeah.
a bunch of green glue. You're gonna get naked and we're gonna slide you through this alien vag right onto the floor. She's like, yeah, get my stunt woman. I'm not. There's no way I'm doing that. No.
Well, they talked to stunt woman about that. She's like, that sounds like another Tuesday in LA.
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
exactly. So
Yeah.
stunt people are crazy. That's why.
Yep.
So, all right, perfect.
The stunt woman. It was Tuesday.
That's right. Leo comes in and says, look, Michelle Williams is young Sil for rising above this film to have an award-winning career. Ryan, who you got?
100% Michelle Williams. Watching the first 10, 15 minutes of the movie that she's actually in, opening credits aside, she nails everything. The look on her face as she's learning, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Her presence, her physical presence, I can see the start of her career.
Oh, yeah.
You've mentioned Blue Valentine a couple times. Like where she went after this, like Blue Valentine, My Week with Marilyn, all these things that she's done. Like she is fire.
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
She was Hugh Jackman's wife, and The Greatest Showman was the little girl.
Yeah. Manchester by the Sea. She has like 4 scenes in that movie.
Yep.
And they crush.
Yeah, she's great.
Like going back and like
She's
now
married to
seeing
Heath
her.
Ledger, right?
She was well. She had.
Or no, they had a kid together.
They had the
were-
kid together
were
after
dating.
Brokeback Mountain.
When he died, they were a couple, right?
Yes. Well, when he died, they had already had the child.
Right.
But
That's how that
just to
works.
see her. I mean, she could have been.
Thanks for
She could have
clarifying.
been.
She could have been pregnant at the time.
and then he could have passed away.
Okay, Ryan. That's not how that works.
Seeing this is like, here's her first. This is her first start of her career. I'm like, you know what, Michelle Williams, perfect career right
All
here.
right.
Love it so much.
Love
Love
it.
Michelle Williams. Yes.
All right. Well, then we also got Josh Eglin going, shout out to my girl, Michelle Williams. She outacted everyone and didn't really have any speaking lines that I can remember. She mouthed, I'm sorry. I think,
Yeah,
does
that was
count?
about it. Yeah.
I'm also going Michelle Williams. Just her fear when she started to cocoon was so well acted. I thought she killed it. Not much more to say. Everyone's kind of hitting on it here. Matt Mulholland says, Gary Bullock, motel clerk. He did a good job. You think he's going to be creepy or lecherous, but he just gives answers when asked to the cops and to her, and does the good guy thing of giving the credit card back to her and even gives advice to be careful. He was a good guy.
He was a good
I wasn't
guy.
expecting. Yeah.
No. Right? You thought he'd be creepy, weird motel guy.
As soon as that girl comes and goes, I'm looking for a man.
Right.
And he goes, oh, sure. If you go right down the road, it's like the end of Dumb and Dumber.
No, exactly.
You're going to find a couple of guys. No problem. There's a town back that way.
Are in luck.
You're in luck. And then finally, Thomas Stagg says, Michelle Williams, no words, but you really felt for her character, especially her own terror during the transformation. Thomas, dude, me and you, man. Not to mention this was her first big role and she gave it her all. That means in a convincing fashion, Michelle Williams is going to win the Steve James Unsung Hero Award. Well deserved.
Yeah. Now
Well
she just
deserved.
needs to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
So let's get on with
Get
it.
it with Michelle. Come on, man. She needs more. She needs more work. I want to see her in all kinds of stuff. She's that good. The time has come, everybody, for us to land the plane. And we've been going all over. We've touched every point in this movie, but we got to decide objectively and subjectively, how does the movie stand on its own as an objective piece of art? Is it good? Is it bad? And then how did we feel about it? Is it good? Did we enjoy it? Did we not enjoy it? Would we ever want to watch it again? It's time to give the final ratings for Species. And we're going to start here with my guy, Thomas Staggs. And Thomas goes, good movie, full stop. This for me is a movie I can watch again and again, not because of Natasha, not just because of Natasha. It's also one of those movies where you can kind of root for the bad guy with the unique story and awesome visuals, as well as some pretty darn good performances. This movie is a sci-fi classic. Not perfect by any stretch, but a good movie. Besides, how can you not love nipple tentacles? Well, Thomas is asking the question that just everybody is asking, really.
Yeah.
How can you not?
I'm not asking that question.
All right, well, fair enough. But the floor is yours anyway, Jenna. What are your final thoughts?
I was kind of having a hard time with coming to a decision because this movie is not one that I think I'm gonna watch again. But I don't think it was well made. But I'm gonna say bad movie that rules because I think it was good.
So you enjoyed the film?
I enjoyed it. It's just not my kind of thing. I
gotcha.
think, but.
All right. So sounds like it's a just barely BMR.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Fair enough. Matt Mulholland says, I think this is a good movie. I first encountered this as a mistake recording back in 95 when I was 15 and had a Cinemax free preview weekend. Bro, this dude had the best weekend back in 1995. Man, oh man, 15-year-old Matt, where I snuck downstairs and put a tape in the VCR and hit record to get the late night movies. I had no interest in horror movies, so I never actually watched this movie except for a few key scenes.
Right.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Watching it as an adult, I immediately see the influence of H.R. Geiger, and nobody says it. He spent $100,000 of his own money for the nightmare train scene that we didn't even mention. For a potentially decent premise that could even survive a reboot today, as long as they keep it rated R and not that PG-13 nonsense. Yeah, we didn't mention that there was all these nightmares she had throughout the movie. And I didn't mention because it kind of had nothing to do with anything, really. No.
It was like her in the nightmares, but her like in the alien.
Was it like the alien inside of her trying to take over? I don't know what it was. It ultimately didn't even matter.
It was probably just to explain the duality of her DNA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, duality DNA.
Yeah. That's a very Farrell thing to say. Brian, you have the floor. You are the floor, I almost said.
Perfect. I'll be the floor.
You are the floor.
I don't think particularly it's all that great of a movie, and I didn't particularly like it all that much to the point where I wouldn't really want to watch it again. And I don't think that I would be like, "Hey, buddy, I want you to watch this because we got to talk about this." Okay, I would just spoil it right away and say, "Okay, listen, if you want to watch it, there's tentacles that come out of a boob and lots of boobs,
lots.
So if you want to, go ahead, but." You don't need to tell me about it because I saw it and I don't really need to talk about it. Anyway, my rating is just going to be bad movie.
All right.
Which I hate being negative.
No, but you know what? You made your case well, which I appreciate, right?
Yeah, I'd like to go in and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Lay back or lean back and just enjoy it for what it is. I just didn't.
Did anybody watch it with you?
Nope, just me.
Just you. Okay. So you didn't subject your wife or anybody else to this. That's good. All right. I'm always curious to find out the wives' review when they do watch these movies with people, right? You don't have a wife. That's why I didn't ask you.
Well, your wife, my mother.
Yes.
Watched it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll get to that.
I was going to say my wife, but she,
My wife.
My wife.
All right. Nice. Josh Aglin, I literally can't not do that. Sorry. Says, I remember liking this movie when it first came out. I now know that it's only because I was young and there was more than enough nudity to go around. Upon rewatch, I really hated this movie. It's got a great cast that collectively decided to phone in their performances and CGI that's on par with Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh,
was it close?
Not fair.
It's 100% accurate. The monster was so cool. I should have said this before. In the last 5 minutes, it looked awful.
Yeah. You said you were going to bring it up, too.
And I forgot to bring it up.
Oh, the scene when it's like leaping across the rock? Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Garbage.
It is. It is.
They
that
should
part's
have
garbage.
figured out a different climax where you can use it more practically.
Yeah.
Instead of having her bouncing around all over the place.
No.
She didn't need to bounce around. It still could have been a cool climax.
Yeah, they thought big money payoff. They were like, this is going to be awesome.
There was 2 terrible climaxes in this movie.
What?
Was it close at times to being so bad it's good? It sure was. But at the end of the day, I can't see myself ever wanting to watch this movie again. Bad movie, full stop. Guys, we've run the gamut here. We've had a couple bad movies. We've had a couple good movies. We've had a bad movie that rules. Ryan, if it's possible in under 2 minutes, what are your final thoughts about Species?
It's a good movie, full stop.
Wow.
But it might be a bad movie that rules.
Okay.
But it's just kind of a bad movie.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly, yes.
So I said these awards are hard.
Plant your flag.
Okay. The performances are very lackluster. Everyone that you think is going to be a heavy hitter is not. They're very phoned in. Ben Kingsley sucks. The screenplay sucks. It's literally a freaking writer's wet dream. Like you said, he was literally in the basement at his mom's house, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta go get some Taco Bell tonight. I'm writing my spec script for Species." Like the screenplay sucks.
That's a great Danny Feldman impersonation.
That's a lot of cons. That's a lot of cons for it to be able to be good.
Yeah.
But damn, Roger Donaldson, who can deliver a movie, a competent, put together movie, despite the odds of crap that he's been handed.
Yeah.
He can get, like you said, it's not a movie. It's not a movie that you need to watch before you die. It's not one of those.
Good Lord, no.
It's not something you tell your friends like, dude, have you ever seen Species? Like, yeah, Species from 95. Dude, watch it. Like, but those of us who have seen it,
yes,
I think it holds a special place in everyone's heart.
If you saw it when you were 15.
If you saw it when you were 15. And you know what?
Yeah.
I saw it when I was 15.
Yeah.
So I'm landing on Bad Movie That Rules.
Fair enough, man. And I think in 1995 there were people saying, "Dude, you got to go see Species."
Yeah.
I think that was definitely happening. That's probably why it made $113 million.
I looked at it last night when I watched it, and I was like, H.R. Geiger did this? Wow, I didn't know that. And I'm a huge Alien fan.
Yeah.
And I'm like, low key, this is like a prequel to Prometheus.
Yeah. How about that?
Except it's not at all.
How about that? Oh my goodness. All right. Next up here from the patrons, we got Leo from the Films and Fermentation podcast. Just a quick shout out to these guys. They're patrons of ours, but they've also got their own show. Final rating here goes, I was 15 when I first saw this.
Why was everyone 15 when they saw this?
I don't know. I was 45 when I first saw this. I didn't catch it back then. I would have
the boat by 30 years.
Loved this movie. Sorry to tell you, when I was 15 years old. Okay. So my son is 15 years old right now, and I can't imagine what Grant would think of Species 1995. I don't know. Back then, he goes, I would have called this a bad movie that rules because of the maximum boob factor. There you go, Brian.
Boobies.
Watching it again, this is just a bad movie, full stop. I'm going to go watch Aliens now to cleanse my palate. Leo, thanks for reaching out, man. We appreciate you, dude. All right, I'm gonna hit these last two patrons and then I'll give my final thing here. Jason Ryan goes, I haven't seen this movie in a long time. Watching it recently made me realize it's not a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's a bad movie either. I'll plant my flag on bad movie that rules, but definitely didn't need a sequel. I'm convinced they were made on some sort of dare or bet. I look forward to seeing you guys cover them though. Hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Stay safe. Enjoy the time with families. Look forward to seeing what 2025 brings for the best, worst movie pod out there. Merry Christmas. Jason, Ryan, you're the man, dude.
What
we
a
appreciate
guy.
you, dude. Thank you.
I read on IMDb that they made the second one, that the director, I think it was the director, honestly admitted, he goes, I just needed the paycheck.
Yeah.
Everyone that did the second one needed a paycheck.
Yeah.
Michael Madsen did it for a paycheck.
Yeah, I would too.
And then Estevan Alonso and his Bad Movie Club here says, while we wanted to like this movie, what we finally had to ask ourselves, he watched it with his movie group, as I said, is would we watch this again? The reality is this is just not a movie we would watch together again, ever. No redeeming qualities. Nothing that you can just grab onto and enjoy. This is not.
That's why you don't want to watch it together.
Not even a movie that MST3K would enjoy. If this movie had parents, its mother was a hamster and its father smelt of elderberry. And we don't mean that in a good way. Wow. A lot of bad movie full stops. A couple of BMRs at the table. It seems like it's going to be kind of split here because this movie sucks so bad in so many ways. Like, and I won't beat a dead horse. They've all been said. The script right out there. Okay. I kind of liked it. There's like this cool factor with this movie, with the practical stuff, with H.R. Geiger. The concept did not deliver on the concept at all. The script was so juvenile. But just this idea of the alien DNA inside of a human, trying to propagate the species, they're tracking her down, trying to get her before she mates. I mean, it's a cool premise.
Yeah.
It's an original premise.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. I haven't seen anything like that before. And I did, as I'm watching it, I would like just check in with myself. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm enjoying this. They've got me here. Lot of things bad about it. So I'm going strongly, firmly planting bad movie that rules. Again, I would have to stumble across it probably to watch it again. But in the time I spent with it, I did have a good time. So at the table, 3 of us went BMR, 1 bad full stop. And then the patrons, I felt like 2 good movies, The rest were bad movie, full stop. So we're all over the board.
I was a little nervous when
one.
a couple of good movies out of the gate. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to hate me.
No, they wouldn't.
I was in company.
The type of patrons we have, even if you disagree with them.
Did you guys watch it together?
So we watched it together.
Yeah, that kind of makes it fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dana was there, and she was just like, this movie's ridiculous. I think when I left the house, she was like, have fun talking about nipples. I'm like, what else am I supposed to talk about when we do this movie?
At least I have a reason to now.
That's right. Thank you.
Yep.
But we're gonna ride on to greener pastures. And when I say greener pastures, we're dipping our toes back into a truly awful, awful movie. We're going to have the same crew back who just did Revenge of the Ninja. That was Kurt Mummer, your wife, Stephanie Farrell, and your sister, Grace, are all going to be back to cover Ninja 3, The Domination, which is the sequel, but they're all independent, standalone stories. Sho Kosugi is still in it.
Yes.
Did you sit through Revenge of the Ninja when you watched it?
I watched Revenge of the Ninja.
Did you like it?
Nah.
The gang of criminals at the playground was pretty great.
I was gonna say
I watched the movie.
in Revenge of the Ninja, like the stunt work is great.
Yeah.
The stunt work is awesome.
Oh, when he swings through the windshield?
You mean the stunt that the transporter then ripped
Yes.
off, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
No, yeah, the stunt work's great. I haven't seen. Have you seen Ninja 3?
I have not.
It's one of those. It's up there with like The Room as like a notoriously bad movie, like Troll 2, Ninja 3, The Domination, starring the gal from Breakin', who had just signed on with Canon Films, and so she's plays the ninja. And it's just, I can't wait to see this thing. So if you want to hear Stephanie, Kurt, me, and Grace rip this movie a new one, tune in next week. Ninja 3, I'm going to guess is on Tubi, or it's on YouTube, or you can find it free out there somewhere. It's one of those kind of films.
You should find it free.
Find it free.
Yeah.
Watch Ninja 3, the Domination, and then we'll check it next week. But I just want to say thank you to Jenna for sitting through Species and being here to talk about it.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Brian, for being here, man.
So happy to be here.
I'm happy you're here. And Ryan Farrell, you did a great job this time.
What?
You finally did.
Thank you guys for being here. We're getting out of here. You always do a great job.
But this time,
we didn't have the fight we had during Ghost of Mars, where me and you were kind of really at odds.
You know, you said that he jumps and was like, wait. It was actually this, then that.
Yeah.
You did that like 3 times.
I know, I did
to
it.
him.
But important things. We only go back when I want to
microanalyze.
A movie that in no way deserves microanalyzation at all.
You mean the Freudian undertones of Species didn't get you going?
I did not want to dig into Danny Feldman's subconscious here. Okay, I think he left his subconscious on the table.
Poor guy.
Didn't need a microscope. Well, maybe we did for him.
They needed a microscope.
Yeah, for sure.
Burn.